Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you now with a message. In a matter of hours, I will be set loose from Twitter jail. For those of you that are not aware, I have been locked away in Twitter prison for 79 days. I'm just playing. I've been in Twitter jail. Timmy was good. I've been in Twitter jail for like a week, all because I said cunt. I don't understand what aversion Twitter has to that word. Cunt is the most magical word. Cunts are the most magical places on earth. Who doesn't like a good cunt? In Australia, it's actually a term of endearment. Friends call each other my cunt. You are my cunt. I am your cunt. It's a beautiful thing. I was goody DLG, was goody Timmy. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fights today. Felt like going live for a little bit. Been doing a lot of uploading, a lot of editing, in case you haven't noticed. I usually do these things based on mood. Sometimes I feel like going live. Sometimes I feel like editing. Most of the time I feel like editing. Shizbiz was good, man. You know what I'm saying? Been hearing rumors that the people over there at the Zone are pressuring Golovkin to unify titles with Demetrius Andrade. It's about time they started making that dude earn his money. I mean, if they made any bad investments, right? Investments that didn't pan out, it would have to be Triple G. It would have to be. 14 million for Steve Rolls, 14 million for Sergey Derevyanchenko, another 7 million for Kamil Zeremata, and what are not high-profile fights. Those are not high-profile fights. I don't know that they got a return on those fights. Gennady Golovkin still has supporters. You can go on Twitter, Facebook, still see a couple of guys that are enamored with Gennady Golovkin, or they feel sorry for him because they feel that he was avoided in his prime. He got a raw deal with Canelo. And some of that is true, but not all of it. Some of it is true. Luis Puente. Andrew was good. Yeah, I got the beard going, bro. I'm going to get on my Leonidas. Like, don't be surprised if the next time I go live, this shit is like down to here or some shit. Wilder Fury 3. A scripted pantomime. A fraud perpetrated on the boxing community at large, intended to... I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, Joshua versus Usyk is in September. I'm going to do a video on that. There's certain subjects I'm not going to broach because I got a lot of thoughts on them. I want to put those thoughts in a video that I edit. What's up, Julius, in the chat? Shout out to Scotland. Tartan Tornado, Highlander. Love that movie. Scotland, Rianne Downey. Very good singer. For those of you that are not familiar with that singer, very good singer. I actually downloaded a couple of her songs. She has a Dolly Parton, Jewel kind of thing going on. If you're a connoisseur of music, like I am, she's like a cross between Dolly Parton and Jewel. Back when Jewel was a bluegrass singer, you know, when Jewel's music was actually very good. That's Rianne Downey. Very good singer, very nice voice. In a way, Wilder 3 could be a good thing. Someone needs to retire Bum Squad. That's assuming it's even real. I've been seeing an influx of people that are starting to come around to the idea that this entire thing is scripted, or at least some portion of it is scripted. Maybe the outcomes aren't scripted, but that they were going to have 3 fights. Maybe that bit of it was always the plan, or maybe the whole goddamn thing's a WWE circus show. Neither would surprise me. A lot of people forgot when Eddie Hearn said something a long time ago. When Frank Warren was sitting in that armchair saying that he saw the offer and all this extra stuff, remember that? The fake $50 million offer? There was an interview conducted by Eddie Hearn where Eddie Hearn said he thinks that they were collaborating the whole time to try and make Anthony Joshua look bad because they knew Anthony Joshua had a exclusivity deal with Sky Sports. So why would Wilder's people go to BT Sport to finance an offer? That makes no sense. You're going to go to a network you know he can't fight on to offer him something you know he can't take. When all of that went down and after all of that blew over and everything, they did an interview with Eddie Hearn where he said that he felt they were colluding, that they all got their heads together, and that was just them trying to make this cat look bad. And that's where the seed for all of this, at least for me, that's where it came from. That I'm like, yo, dog, they've colluded against this guy before. The entire act of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury is an affront to Anthony Joshua's market value. Like, oh, we don't need you. We don't need you. We'll fight each other. That's all that shit is, man. Jake D was good. Jerome was good. Emma was good. At this point, I don't even really care which one of them wins, Emma, because to me, they're both shysters. They're both con artists. I don't care which. If Wilder wins, kiss Undisputed goodbye. It won't happen. They'll just keep him in house. Charles Martin, Andy Ruiz, the winner of Helenius versus Kovnowski. That's what you can expect. That's at least that's what I'm expecting. So I don't expect that dude to fight for Undisputed because the PBC doesn't value boxing in the traditional sense. And I wanted to talk about this in a video that, like, there's people that see behind the curtain and they know that boxing is a business. And yes, it is a business. But what these people over there at the PBC don't seem to understand is you cannot present it that way to the consumer. To the consumer, it still has to maintain a certain standard for it to be appealing. So when you have a Gervonta Davis, for example, who's fighting later on today for a Reggie belt, right? And you got guys calling it a title fight. You got Leonard Ellerbe saying all this extra shit, which I'm going to do a video about. The consumers are put off by that. Guys like me, we're put off by that. You can try to appeal to as many dull dullards and casuals as you can. The casuals do not know Mario Barrios, though. So that's where you fuck up your own shit at. They don't know that dude. The fuck's supposed to make that fight appealing? They don't even know that dude. I don't know. If you want to buy it, you buy it. If you like Gervonta Davis enough to where you don't even care who he's fighting, you just want to see him, then buy the fight. But I know I'm not going to buy the fight. That's all I can say. I can't tell none of y'all what to do. Y'all going to do what y'all going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I know I ain't buying that fight. I ain't bought the last one. I'm not buying this one. The fuck I look like throwing money away on that bullshit? Will Inoue move up in weight again eventually? And do you think he can hold it down if he does? I think that if he moves up to 122, it's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very difficult. It is. Because if you look at his implementation, he'll hurt a guy. He's not a volume puncher. He doesn't actually throw a lot of punches. He's laser accurate. He's very precise. He's got enough power to where he can plan a shot and hurt a guy almost immediately. But does that continue to happen at 122 pounds? And if it doesn't, does he have another gear? Does he have another gear? Like, all right, well, this guy, I done hit this guy a couple of times. He doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. So let's beat him with the boxing. You know what I mean? I'll say that Inoue is not in love with his power like some other fighters, which is why when he's out there, you never see him waste punches. You know, you don't see him just going for broke, going for the gusto. No, he don't do that. He's very efficient. So he's not, his power for him is not even necessarily a crutch, because if it were, you'd see a guy go out there wasting his punches, just throwing like, oh, I hit hard. Something going to get through. He's not like that. But at the same time, his power is incremental. Is that a word? Instrumental to his implementation. It is, because he'll pick his spots, take his time, look for an opportunity, nail a guy. Guy almost always is immediately hurt. Almost always. Throughout 3 divisions, this has been the case. At 122, the question is, will that continue to happen? And I'm not completely sure that it will. I think he can win a title at 122 pounds. I think that's possible. But as far as him continuing to be a monster at 122, I don't know about that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's 4 fucking weight classes. You got guys that don't want to go up 1 Or you got guys that they go up one weight class and they ain't even who they is. They ain't even who they was no more. So it's like this dude is already like he has a good legacy for someone that's so young. He's already a 3-division champion. There's guys they've never had that kind of success in their career. So, it is what it is. Rosario Alubin. Thing about that fight, right? I think that Erickson Lubin is a better boxer than Jason Rosario. I don't like either of their. To be completely honest, I don't like either of their chins. I don't think either of them have much of a beard. I think Jason Rosario is physically stronger than Erickson Lubin, but I think Erickson Lubin is a better boxer. So I'm leaning towards Lubin. It's possible that Jason Rosario gets through with something and knocks him out because look, Terrell Gausha wobbled Erickson Lubin. Terrell Gausha is not a big puncher, and he wobbled Erickson Lubin. I didn't forget that. That wasn't that long ago either. So it's like it's possible that Jason Rosario, because he throws a lot of punches, because he comes forward, he's a big guy, applies a lot of pressure, and he hits hard. So it's kind of it's like, yes, I could see Lubin getting knocked out, but I could also see Jason getting countered with some shit and getting knocked out. Because bro, you got stopped by a jab to the belly. He jabbed up top, then jabbed you to the belly. You didn't see it coming, and you went down. I think Tank wins on points. It's anybody's guess, man. Nobody gives a fuck about that fight. The thing is, it's not a bad fight. That's the worst part. It's not actually a bad fight. It's a decent fight. It is a decent fight. If you're talking about like, okay, well, I'm going to move up to 140 and I need somebody to fight at 140, but I don't want to bite off more than I could chew, Barrios is a decent option, believe it or not, if it's a litmus test. But that's not the way they bill in the fight. They're not billing the fight as a litmus test, and they're not, they're billing it as a title fight, and that's just ridiculous. Like, what do you think? We're all morons? We know that Mario Barrios ain't the guy at 140. You just must think we all stupid as shit saying that shit. Ebo was good. Yeah, I agree, Callie. I agree. It's not a real title fight. It's like they're insulting people's intelligence saying shit like that. Like, bro, we know this not a real title fight. We just saw Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez fight for Undisputed. We just saw that. And you trying to tell us that this shit is a title fight that we should have to pay $75, $80? You could suck my dick 80 times. Tank is a good test at 140, but never. Yeah, that's how I feel, G, man. That's how I feel. That it's like, honest to God, it's honestly not a bad fight. Honestly, it's not a bad fight. But when you call it a title fight, right? When you got Leonard Ellerbe throwing shade at what Undisputed means to boxing, what Undisputed means to the fight fan, when you got Leonard Ellerbe belittling that so that he could charge me and you extra money for this regular ass fight, that's when it's like, all right, yo, go to hell, bro. Go to fucking hell, bro. And stop tapering your fucking goatee like that, because that shit don't even look right. Motherfucker look like Liberace or some shit. Yeah, he the Reggie Belt King, bro. He the Reggie Belt King. Leonard Ellerbe is a clown, man. But it's like, bro, like, you know why I don't get up in arms about it anymore, because they've been doing that clown shit for a long time. Like, bro, they wouldn't even let you fight Tevin Farmer. That's how much they don't believe in you. I don't care what a bunch of motherfuckers in Baltimore might have to say about it. I don't care what a bunch of motherfuckers in ATL might have to say about it. If they believed in you, they would have let you get that $7 million for your bank account and let you fight Tevin Farmer. They didn't even want to let you fight him. He could have won that fight. It's possible. Yes, it's entirely possible. He goes over there. He would have knocked Tevin Farmer out. He would have came back with the IBF on top of the belt he already had, and it would have been cool. And we would have been able to say, like, nah, Tank, they let him go to the zone and he beat the guy. You know what I mean? But no, they didn't even want to let you do that. They didn't even want to let you fight Alberto Machado. You went around Alberto Machado to fight Jesus Cuellar, a dude that Abner Mares beat. They didn't even want to let you fight Machado. Y'all seen what Cancio did to Machado. He beat the living shit out of him both times. That's another situation where you could say, damn, that could have been Tank. That could have been Tank winning that fight. And then it would have legitimized that, oh, well, you the real WBA champion, because even though you got a belt that you shouldn't have got, you beat the dude. So that would have legitimized the shit. No, they didn't even want to let you do that. So I'm supposed to get hyped because, like, come on, B. That's a terrible fight. I said that already. That's a terrible fight. I don't want to see Crawford versus Zapata. And y'all know I love Terrence Crawford, but I don't want to see that fight, bro. That's a trash-ass fight. Bro, Crawford beat Hank Lundy like 4 or 5 years ago, right? He beat maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago. He beats Hank Lundy. I just saw Zapata lose to Hank Lundy. I know the judges didn't give it to Hank. I know. I'm saying it looked like he lost to me. So why would I want to see the dude that just lost to Hank Lundy fight the dude that beat Hank Lundy? Like, you got Hank Lundy problems, bro. He better leave Top Rank. The Taylor fight isn't worth it. Well, the other problem is, appreciate that, Boxing God. I agree, Boxing God. And it's like they still talk about Tank like he's 22 or 23 years old. No, he's 26, bro. He's 26. All right? Like he's not a kid. And the matchmaking, it is what it is. Like the whole shit is, you could let that shit get on your nerves. You could let that shit get on your nerves. Or you could give the appropriate response. And I ain't gonna pay that shit no mind, bro, because there's no way you're getting my money for that shit. There's just no way. If I really want to stick it to them for the bullshit they doing, bro, you're not even gonna get my viewership. I'm not paying to see your fight. You heard people want you to be part of the Boxing Voice as a co-host, and Next would be open to it. Oh yeah, I talked to Ness. Like, I've talked to Ness before behind the scenes. We've corresponded before. He sent me that. Like, somebody sent me that they said, oh, they would like for me to go over there. But Ness knows this was years ago that I like my freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I like my freedom. Like, a long time ago when I first started this channel and I was first uploading videos and shit like that, he hit me up and he was like, yo, would you like to have what you doing as part of the Boxing Voice? And I was like, nah, I like my freedom. I like being able to have creative liberty because that's what made it fun for me. When I started, like, I wasn't monetizing nothing like that. It's just I liked how can I put it? I don't want to be attached to nothing, feel me? Like, I want to be able to just do things as they come because that's what makes it fun. But for me, it was just a hobby. Like, I like editing. I like editing. I'm big on instrumentals. I'm big on movies, different things like that. So I like having that creative liberty to just keep doing that without being on a schedule, without being on a deadline and shit like that. Like, I do everything of my own volition when I feel like doing it. And that was years ago, bro. And somebody sent me a video or something that Ness said real recent. And shout out to Ness because, like I said, and I say it all the time, I don't have the same views that he has as far as certain subjects. Now, we don't got the same views, but I've always respected that dude's work ethic because that dude is on the grind, bro. Like, I respect his hustle. Like, that dude work hard, bro. And it ain't no lackey, hack, flunky type shit. Like, nah, that dude built his brand, bro. That's building a brand. You want to know how to build a brand? You should talk to that dude. You don't have to agree with his boxing takes, but you know who he is. That's the thing. You know who he is. That's successfully building a brand in a manner of speaking, because there are other people out there, and I don't put the Boxing Voice in the same category as those people, because what those people are doing is not very respectable. Like, he just not even really in any capacity. It's not like, nah, bro. Like, you know that anybody could get on there and be volatile and put out hateful shit for attention. Literally anyone can do that. Anyone can have sensationalized headlines about shit that's not even true to get a couple clicks. Anybody could do that. But some people have too much integrity to resort to that. They're like, bro, I ain't gonna sit here put up a BS headline about some shit just so that motherfuckers will watch my shit. That's Where's your self-respect? Hey, shout out to you, Base. I was looking at what people saying with Billy Joe Saunders. One guy says that Saunders said the mafia told him to stay down. Is it? Here's what I think. Here's what I think about that. When you're dealing with somebody of Canelo Alvarez's stature, you can't dismiss those kinds of possibilities, though ultimately that is one of many scenarios you can entertain. The way I see it, I'm going off of what I saw. When I was watching the fight, he got hit with that uppercut. The camera angle moved, and I saw that this was sunken in. It was sunken in. And to me, it's like, oh, shit. The swelling was almost immediate. That is in keeping with a fracture. I know that because I fractured my hand before. And the swelling that I got in my hand, it was immediate, and it puffed up real big. My hand was fat for like a week, and it was because it was like a hairline fracture where the knuckle is. I seen that happen to his eye on camera. So I'm thinking like, nah, honestly, if you want my opinion, it really does look like he had an orbital bone fracture. It does. Now, I'm not talking about the quitting and none of that, but I'm just saying that, like, yeah, like a hairline fracture or orbital bone fracture or fracture somewhere else in your body, the swelling is immediate. It'll puff up real fast. And that's what I saw happen to his eye, that like it got smashed, it was sunken in, and then the color changed, and then it started. It's like, to me, it looked like, yo, look, dog, he broke your eye and you quit. That's what I saw. And remember, my view of the fight was Billy Joe Saunders don't really want this fight. Like, you don't want the fight so that you could be the one that beats him. You just want the check. So you kind of already about to quit, in other words, in my opinion. Like, you don't really want this fight. You don't really believe you can beat him. You don't want to really be the one that does it. That's not who you are. That's not why you here. You here because this is the biggest payday this division has to offer, and that's it. It's not because you think you could beat him. It's not because you think he's smoking mirrors. You don't really want to fight him. You just want to get paid. And no, that's not the same thing. That's really not the same thing. Billy never had surgery to his eye. He had surgery on Monday and flew back. Appreciate that, Beats. Flew back to the UK Wednesday after eye surgery. I mean, I don't dismiss that what you're saying could be true. Like, I don't dismiss that. It's just that my view of the fight affects my view of the fight before the fight affects how I view what happened after. And I said it in a lot of videos that I don't really think Billy don't really think he gonna beat this guy. Like, he know in his heart you don't have it to beat him. He know that. I don't see in him what I saw in Tarver ahead of the Roy Jones Jr. fights. You know what I mean? Thank you for being balanced and honorable, bro. It would be the equivalent of another pandemic. I appreciate that, bro. I try. It's not that many. It's not that honest, especially in today's day and age. And I'm not talking about myself per se, but just in general. It's a severe lack of integrity in today's day and age. It's a severe lack of spirit and just, not being, I guess, a poser or putting on, because that's what I see is the trend now, that, oh, you gonna put on because people watching, because the cameras is rolling, shit like that. Like, it's just a lot of clout chasing and a lot of silliness. I've always said, I occasionally go live, but I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. My shit is editing, not being in front of a camera. What I prefer to do is to edit. I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. Whereas what this generation promotes is me. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Look at me. Like, I'm not, and I don't come from that. Like, that's, and I won't judge. I don't do that myself. Integrity is very important. That's your spirit. That's your soul. And if you go sell your soul for clicks, you go sell your soul for likes, you go sell your soul for money. Okay. Triple G taking a pic. Yeah, I agree, bro. I said that, and shout out to D Styles, G Funky, and they podcast. I just was on a podcast couple of days ago, and I said that, look, DAZN is right to put pressure on him. They are right because you've already been paid handsomely for fights that were not high-profile fights. Does it make sense that $14 million for Steve Rolls, $7 million, and another $7 million in equity, then another $14 million for the Sergey Derevyanchenko fight? It's like, bro, like that is not a $14 million fight. I mean, like, no, it's not. Like, I don't even know if you brought that money back to them. If I had to guess, I don't know. It's possible that he did because DAZN was available in many, many countries. So that's that many more revenue streams. But still, that's not a $7 million fight. I mean, that wasn't a $14 million fight. Crazy? They've been pouring money down the drain on that guy on the premise that there would be a third Canelo fight. We know that's not going to happen now. So that investment went bad. It's a bad investment. If you did all of that and you accommodated this guy and you gave him this kind of a deal on the premise that there's going to be a third Canelo fight, I think you poured all that money down the drain. Poured all that money down the drain, man. Shit, I appreciate that, Emma. But yeah, and to me, it's like, look, we can beat the drum about Jermall Charlo fighting Andre. We can do that for days. We can do that for weeks, and we'll be right. We'll be right. They're like, yo, dog, like you just trying to find different ways to not fight that dude. That's all you doing. We could do that, but we also got to keep that energy for Golovkin. Everybody's saying, oh, he 38, he 39. Listen, man, he's 42. He's about to fight Errol Spence. Man, he was 40 when he fought Keith Thurman. 2 years after that, after 2 years of inactivity, he's 42. He's about to fight Errol Spence. So, Golovkin, I'm not asking you to move up and weight, and well, even though I kind of am, but like if Demetrius Andrade is as bad as everybody says he is, then why should it bother you that I'm suggesting, hey, Triple G, you should fight that dude? You could probably beat him. You never know. Yeah, the Rocky Fielding fight. You know what the thing is about the Rocky Fielding fight, right? The Rocky Fielding fight, that fight didn't bother me. It didn't bother me because I thought about, okay, Canelo, he fought Triple G 2 times. I can't remember if the Rocky Fielding fight came before or after the Daniel Jacobs fight. But I just look at those last 6 fights or those last 7 fights. Golovkin, Jacobs, Kovalev, Saunders, Smith. And I'm like, bro, what? And I'm going to sit here and complain. Like, I would have to ignore a lot of stuff to focus on Rocky Fielding. I would have to ignore a lot of stuff to focus on Avni Yildirim. Those are 2 fights where you like, yeah, them those some bullshit ass opponents. You can say that, like, it ain't like you wrong, but what about everything else? What about everything else? That division was happy to stay separated for the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Because Badu Jack and James DeGale, they did have a unification match, but it was scored a draw, and there was no rematch. Like, I thought it was going to be a rematch. It wasn't no rematch. All right, so that division was cool to stay apart for years. Canelo comes along, he wants to unify it. I'm not going to complain about him, man. I'm going to shoot beats this link real quick. Appreciate that, Joe Lazizi. If Donaire is fighting, thank you. If Donaire is fighting champs and Pacquiao fighting Spence, I'm unable to make any. Thank you. Like Nonito Donaire went in there with Nordine Bali and beat the fuck out of him. Now he about to try to unify with Casemiro. Win or lose, I'm gonna be a Nonito Donaire fan and a Rachel Donaire fan. Win or lose, right? But if they doing that, bro, what I'm gonna say here for Triple G? You don't have no excuses, bro. You've been on Easy Street for a while. I was good at your muck. eating that made.
Yeah,
That shit was gospel.
How we doing, bro?
Chilling. It's an echo.
Oh, let me sort that quickly. That would probably be cause I know your people really crazy. Is it gone?
All right, now it's gone.
Okay.
I watched your video. That shit, like, let me say this. That shit was inspirational because I did not come at it. I didn't come at the Davis Barrios fight, right? And Leonard Ellerbe's comments from the angle that you came at him. That, like, yo, dog, like, this dude is dead ass disrespecting Undisputed. That selling boxing in America is literally not about boxing. It's about politics, gimmicks, and bullshit. Because this man that has been in the industry for all these years, he is dead ass disrespecting Undisputed. That's wild. And I'm so used to Leonard's bullshit that it didn't even hit me like that. They're like, yeah, like, you really trying to sit here and talk about this Barrios fight as if it's in any way, shape, or form better than Taylor versus Ramirez. You just have all the fucking gall in the world, man.
Leonard, like, he's lived off Floyd. That's what he's did. He's done nothing else for no other boxer to make them big, right? And look, he said today that the haters say that, what did he say? About Al Heyman. He's making 3 undisputed fights, and he's saying, oh, you can call it 4 if the WBA gives Pacquiao the belt. And, like, even the example he uses, you need the WBA to take the belt from this poor Cuban kid who's never been given no favors. You strip Manny because he was inactive. But to make these fights, you've got to make up narratives and fake belts. You know what I mean? And, like, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous at this point, man. Like, you don't want to give this guy, this Scottish kid, like, poor kid from Edinburgh, right? Never given nothing, right? You don't want to let him have his moment as undisputed champion. You want to tell the world that Tank is fighting in a world title fight tonight. But, you know, in any division, right? 140 is the division you can't do that. Because there's an undisputed champion. He's undisputed, right? And the fact that he gets away with that is, I don't know, man. I really don't know how he gets away with it, man. And American, like, with people like that talking for American boxing, it's just like, it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. You want to talk about Tank selling out stadiums? You want to talk about, listen, that's hustling backwards. In any other sport, you can't get that, right? The reason Manchester United or Real Madrid get the bigger pool of the TV money is because they're in the Champions League or winning the Champions League or they're winning their league. That's why Norwich City, like, Tank is basically acting like he's Real Madrid by winning the Carling Cup. Now, I know I'm probably going above your head with all these talking.
No. I got it, and I thought the same thing, that it's like, yo, dog, you want to act like you won the World Series, or you want to act like you won the Super Bowl when you ain't even go to it. You not there, bro. If Undisputed is the Super Bowl, or Undisputed is the World Series, or Undisputed is the playoffs, guess what? You never been to the playoffs, bro. Not with the fucking guys that you fighting. And once again, the other thing about the fight, before I pass it to Mark, the other thing about the fight is I see the potential for it to be a banana skin, because this kid don't give up his height. I watched the Velasco fight yesterday, the Ryan Call fight, and the fucking what's this Russian guy's name, man? Mark, what's that Russian?
Batir Akhmedov.
Batir Akhmedov. I watched the fight, and he did get a gift in that fight. But when I watched the fight, what I noticed was, you know what? Barrios doesn't give up his height. He jabs. He'll jab, go in, do some shit, get out, get back on his jab. So I'm like, well, it doesn't look like he's going to give up his height the way that Leo did. So it's like, okay, that's interesting, because he's not going to give up his height, even though he's a lot taller, and he's a lot taller. He's not going to give it up to Davis. So I don't know if he can get off an uppercut the way he did with Leo, because 1, this kid don't give up his height. 2, Leo was a moron. How do you throw 3 right hands back to back. Like, you're crazy. He threw 3 right hands. By the time he let the third one go, it's like Leo that's another thing. So looking at the fight, I'm like, well, if this was a litmus test to see what Tank is capable of as a junior welterweight, I would accept it. But you're billing it as a pay-per-view, and it shouldn't be. You're saying it's a title fight when we all know that it's not, and I can't enjoy the fight.
Let me say this before Unrivaled gets in. How you doing, Unrivaled? Let me just say this. What I want everyone to look out for is watching this PBC broadcast if they mention Josh Taylor's name. That's what I want to see. If they have the balls to mention his name.
Well, Beats, you know what Leonard told Michelle Joy Phelps? He's not staying at 140, so they probably won't mention him. He said that shit. I caught the interview this morning, and I'm gonna talk about it in a video. But I guess this is a one-off. He fights for this Reggie belt, and then I guess he's supposed to go back down to 30 and 35, which is like, yo, dog, like what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Mark, what do you think about the shit?
Barrios and Tank?
Yeah.
I think Barrios can beat him.
Yeah.
I think he has the power to. And like you say, he doesn't give up his height. He knows how to use his length pretty well. And the other thing is I don't think Tank's power really carries up in these weights because I think it relies on his speed. As he packs on the weight, he slows down. 135, he was way slower than he is at 130. We've seen that in the Leo fight. Like, Leo's way quicker than Gamboa. Yet Gamboa, when him and Tank were exchanging, Gamboa's hands landed faster.
That's true. And Tank, even at 35, Tank don't throw a lot of punches. I've been saying that for 2 years. Like, yeah, he's a puncher in the sense that he hits hard, but he don't throw a lot. He looked to hit you with one shot, and then when you get hurt by the shot, then he'll go in. Before that happens, he's not really doing a whole lot out there. He really ain't. So with this kid, this is a WBA title fight, right? So we know there's probably not a 10-pound rehydration clause. I don't think the way that the IBF does it, because with the IBF, it's a 10-pound rehydration clause, bro. You can't rehydrate more than 10 pounds. Well, this ain't the IBF. This is the WBA. So if this kid can rehydrate to where he wants to, he's already a lot taller than Davis. He's already a lot longer than Davis. He doesn't give up his height. He doesn't lean over the guy, do all that extra shit. If he stays on his jab, he's got Virgil Hunter in his corner, so I think he's got a decent corner. Not the best, but a decent corner that'll give him decent advice. It's a decent fight. And that's how I look at it. That, you know what? If I take away all of the crap and peel away all the bullshit, yeah, it's a decent fight. I don't think it makes Davis pound for pound. That's the other thing that he said. He said because of this fight, oh, I'm pound for, like, come on, bro. Like,
no, absolutely not. I mean, Barrios maybe is number 8, 9 in that division. If you really want to go for a stretch, I mean, Taylor, Ramirez, Prograis, and then you have all of the other lads like Matias, who just beat Jukambayev. Even still, possibly even Jukambayev has better wins than Barrios, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be funny about that, but you've got
no. It's look, Kirill Relic, Victor Postol, Ivan
Relic's
Barancik.
retired.
He retired?
Yeah, he said he's retired.
Or
was it Yigit? Was it Relic or was it Yigit? It was one of the two.
No, Anthony Yigit is retired. He's retired.
It was Yigit. Oh.
Yeah, Yigit. I mean, and that's wild too, because he was actually decent. He just had no power at all. No power.
He could box a bit.
But he could box.
Yeah. He reminded me a little of Paulie. You know, no power but good.
He's got celebrity over there. He's got celebrity. That's the other thing that people not realizing about Yigit, the ones that know him, is that dude doing reality TV shows over there in Sweden. I believe he's Swedish.
Yeah, he is Swedish.
Yeah, so he don't need to get punched in his face for bread. Like,
he ain't fought no one. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, the second that he did, you saw what happened.
I'm talking about Barrios. Barrios ain't fought no one, man. Like,
Oh no,
he's
he has fought no one. No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
that Golovkin who's fighting. I think he's fighting tonight, but doesn't say anything. It's kind of like that Beck kid last week. They ain't fought nobody, bro. They ain't fought nobody.
That's true. That's true. Akhmedov though is solid. You can just see it on the eye. He's a solid fighter. I know resumes and everything are very important, but you can see that he can box. He's got a nice double up jab. He's got a great ability to actually shield himself defensively. And Barrios dropped him. And in the amateurs and the World Series of Boxing, he was never dropped, not once. And Barrios dropped him 3 times, I think.
Yeah, like Barrios right now is top 10, and it's gonna sound funny. Barrios is top 10 the way that Devin Haney was top 10 2-3 fights ago. You see what I mean? Davis, that Haney was top 10 at 135. It's like you haven't beaten anybody yet, but we can see what you can do. We can see that, like, yeah, you're decent. Like, I could go for Barrios versus Pastor. I like that fight. A good fight between 2 tall guys that have a jab. I'd like a fight like that. He's solid. Like, you can see that he's solid. He just don't have it on the resume. And that's kind of where Devin Haney was before the Linares fight. They're like, well,
Yeah.
we can see that you're solid, but you don't have it on paper yet.
Yeah, you could see they different skill sets completely, but Barrios has something. He's not terrible, and I think the fight's all right. But it's, to me, it's not even the best fight on the card. I think Rosario Lubin is the best fight on the card. I think that's a cracking fight.
That's a real good fight, and I think it's a high probability somebody gets knocked out. Neither of them take the best punch, to be honest. Neither of them.
Well, Jason for 8 rounds is dangerous as all hell. But if Lubin can get through those 8 rounds, he's gonna knock his ass out in the 9th or the 10th.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. That I like Jason Rosario as a physical specimen at junior middleweight. He's big kid, strong kid, a lot of length. He's not afraid to throw, hits hard, but it's like, yo, you got stopped by a jab to the body, bro. A jab. He shot the jab upstairs. You blocked that, and then he put one downstairs when you wasn't expecting it, and you fell down, bro, off a jab.
Is it fair to say after that fight, Julius, you and I, we were on Twitter, and we seen, not many people saw this, but we did see what Rosario was like in the corner before coming out to that round. He was pretty much out cold. He shouldn't have been sent out. I don't think he got knocked out by a jab. I think he got knocked out by a war of attrition.
Well, let's say this. The idea for me is I don't think this, like, neither of them are all that durable, in other words. That's how I look at it. Like, I saw Lubin get frazzled by Gachet, who's not a big puncher. Jason Rosario, we just talked about him. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like whoever lands first. I don't really know that there's a safe bet there. I view Lubin as a more skilled guy than Jason. Jason is a blunt force instrument. That's what he is. He's a blunt force instrument.
Here's how it runs, right? If you're talking about probabilities, you're more than likely going to get a Lubin points win, but you can't write off Rosario stopping him. I don't think Rosario boxes well enough to go skill for skill with Lubin. But, you know, it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be I think late stoppage or points win for Lubin. Maybe a knockout. But I'm going for Lubin.
Yeah, that's when earlier when I was talking about the shit, I'm leaning towards Lubin because Jason, like, he's too easy to read, bro. Like, you're just too easy to read, bro. He's a strong guy. Depending on who's opposite the ring, it hurt a guy, obviously, but Lubin's a better boxer than this guy's, and I'm gonna go with the boxing. I'm gonna go with Lubin.
I've got a very bold prediction on that fight.
What do you got?
Rosario round 5.
Really? You think Rosario's gonna stop him?
I don't think Lubin's ability on the straight lines that good. I think he's negative when it's on straight lines, and Rosario bum rushes on straight lines. So all he does is just bum rushes on them. I think he's going to land a lot. I don't think it's going to be like he's going to outbox him. I think it's going to be something like when you see these Mexican fighters come over and they take on like Warrington or whatever, and they're just landing and landing and landing. I think it's going to be like that. I don't think Lubin's defense is as good as people make it out to be. I think he's good on the angle, but on straight lines, no. And he's been fighting people he's a lot better than. And if you really rewatch Charlo versus Rosario, Jason was arguably winning that fight.
Yes, he was doing good.
Before he got stopped, he was doing really well. So, no, he's not the greatest of boxers, but he is so aggressive. And sometimes you can't. If the biggest question mark on you is your chin, if that's the biggest question mark on you, the worst type of guy you can take on is somebody who's aggressive. But with that said, we'll have to see how Jason deals with coming off of a knockout defeat in the way he did.
What do you guys think about Masayoshi Nakatani? I've gone with Vasyl Lomachenko on points. Video's already up for those that haven't seen it. What do you guys think is going to happen in that fight?
It's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a slog for Lomachenko. I think after we're going to be questioning how much he's got left in the tank. I mean, look, it's at 135 and the guy's just much bigger than him, isn't he? And like, we see the battle that guy gave Tio, the way he dealt with because Pedraza has flaws. He can't take a good shot, but he can fight. And my guy got the better of it in the end. It's a tough, like, you can't pick against Loma. It's hard to pick against Loma, but I think it's gonna be a tough fight, man.
I think the first 2-3 rounds are gonna be real fucking awkward trying to find his range with that guy. Especially when he feels the power that if he feels the guy's power landing on his gloves, because I think he's gonna come out with Masayoshi the way he came out with Luke. He's gonna come out high guard, and when he gets close, he's gonna change levels, try to sneak in, hit him in the body. But that was after like 2 rounds. It took Loma to get comfortable enough to start doing that. Mark, what do you think happens?
Biggest question mark for me, well, 2 question marks is, how is Loma's shoulder? That's the first one. Because last time he came off of the shoulder injury, he fought Pedraza, and he didn't look particularly hot. If we recall, he didn't look particularly hot. It was, I would say, arguably one of the worst performances of his whole career outside of the Teofimo fight, and pretty much probably the worst one outside of the Teofimo. As far as Nakatani goes, Julius, I believe you've covered these 2 things. After the Teofimo fight, Nakatani retired due to a brain bleed, correct? And then after the Verdejo fight, he was in hospital and had surgery for a fractured orbital bone, correct? So
you talked about that on the live, yeah.
So Nakatani's punch resistance, I don't know where it's going to be at. And for my money, I've never rated Verdejo as a huge puncher. I think Nakatani's punch resistance is gone. I don't think Loma's a huge puncher, but I think accumulation, if his shoulder is fine, will be key. And I think he will get the stoppage via TKO to make a statement. I think his feet will be too much for Nakatani. Nakatani's length.
There we agree.
Nakatani's length is fantastic for him, but he doesn't really use it. He gives up his length.
Yeah, he does. He gets in a he'll get
he
in a wide
loves to fight in the pocket. He likes
to
fight in the pocket. Like, so, and for me, in the pocket, Loma's one of the best in the world inside. Inside.
Well, not 135.
He's not one of the best in the world in the pocket at 135.
In the pocket, you got to give it to him and Tio. Nobody else at that weight really fights in the pocket as much as they do.
Yeah. Who's better than him at 135 in the pocket?
I'm not gonna lie, Devin looked all right in the pocket, but at most he'd be number 3 in the world in the pocket.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Devin can do a bit of it all. We don't know if he can take a great punch. A lot of what made Loma great is not that effective at 135. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like look, his career is not going to last that much longer.
I agree. Now, Beats. I agree, because that was the forecast that I had, and I think you said it too. Matter of fact, I think we all said it on a live. He's good right now. He's fun to watch. But a guy that has what 300 or 400 amateur fights, right? That's how. Damn, right? Right. Your pro career is not going to be that long. You're going to burn out, and you're not going to be around that long. That was how I always looked at it. They're like, this guy. I don't know that this guy makes it to 140. I don't. He doesn't have the size, and
No.
I don't. It's too much wear and tear.
That's too much from even like, to be honest, like, even if he didn't have the injuries and shit like that, like the dude who fought Linares and stuff, he can't cut it at 140 with those guys. They're too big. They like, I'm not even wrong in saying this. The 140 pounders are actually bigger than most of the welterweights, and they're really
no,
big.
that's true. Mario Barrios 5'10", Josh Taylor 5'10", 5'11". Fucking
Ramirez 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, like
Regis Prograis, he's not that tall, but he's wider than all of those fuckers. He's wide as hell.
Like Regis is right there with fucking Keith Thurman, which is what I keep saying. To like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. These are little welterweights. These are some of the smallest welterweights, the smallest crap I've seen in recent memory. The smallest. The only one that was smaller than that one I would say is the previous era, because Tim moved up, Floyd moved up, Manny moved up, Marquez moved up. But before that, the Oscars, the Felix Trinidads, before that, the Leonards. Yo, these is cats that's 5'10", 5'11", man. They can fill out and go to junior middleweight or middleweight. These guys, imagine Keith Thurman going to 154. Kill him. They'll fucking kill him.
I can see much more of a chance of Taylor going to 154 than Thurman.
Yeah, I agree. He's got the length. He's got the length for it.
He's just really big. Like, don't get me wrong, he wouldn't be big in that division because the 154 pounders, once again, another division that's huge, are bigger than the 160 pounders on average. So,
it's true though. But they all gonna end up like Jared. Jared waited too fucking long to go to middleweight, and now he is just room temperature soda flat. He is flat. I don't know what they're gonna do with this dude, man.
It's not the size though. It's the wear and tear and the age, man. Like the man stayed amateur a long time, Olympics and stuff, and like against Luke Campbell, he was getting like some tough rounds, like for a long spells in them fights, and Pedraza, he wasn't in it, and maybe this orbital bone that you brought up with Nakatani could be a factor, but I see it being a struggle unless but I'm sure they're not going to put him in there if that injury isn't healed up. Hopefully they won't.
Well, the other thing is I don't know that Loma's going to exploit it right away, because I think the first place Loma's going to go is to the body. I don't think he's going to headhunt this guy.
Very long torso. Nakatani, for anyone who's watched him enough will see, like the way he keeps his arms and everything. You've pretty much got an entire foot of room to work with on either side of his ribs.
That's what I'm saying. Like the what I see is what he did with Luke. He'd get in a high guard, he'd move left, move right, and then slip in, and then work his midsection a little bit. Luke is a little bit shorter than Nakatani, but that's what I think he's gonna do to Nakatani. What the fuck I look like trying to punch this big ass man in his head? His whole body is right there. Just go to his midsection. That's what I think he's gonna do.
The more we watch fighters, you can see certain things. Like, it's all right saying that Nakatani's open for body shots. It took Loma ages to want to rumble with Lopez. You know what I mean? That a lot of that is psychological as well. It's psychological, it's physical, and he's going to want to try and test the shoulder as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's going to be wary too. That like this is going to be a tough battle for a little while. That's what I feel. But we can't tell from it. We have to wait until the fight's full. You know what I mean?
The other fight.
I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be hard, but I think eventually, Loma's just going to end up overwhelming and over-voluming him.
Yeah.
Kind of like he was doing against Tio in the mid to late rounds. But I think Nakatani's punch resistance is kind of... I just feel with a brain bleed and a fractured orbital bone, and it's only a few months out. He got dropped twice by a dude who couldn't drop. Go ahead.
If he's getting off head punches, Mark, that's when all of that comes in. The brain bleed, the orbital bone. I don't think Loma's going to headhunt this guy. He's going to go to his body, and that's why I think likely goes the distance.
He's got to cut him down, slow him up, make sure that he can't fully extend the shots, and then he's going to start teeing off with his big ass head. Because that head is huge.
It
you
is
don't have
though.
a little head. You got a big cranium.
Bro, I seen them side by side, and it was like, yo, this is a hell of a fucking visual, dog. This dude look like he in a different weight class than Loma, bro. Loma look like a bantamweight next to this dude, man.
Well, Nakatani kind of looks like he belongs. He belongs at middleweight. let's be real.
I mean, realistically, he belongs at welterweight. Realistically,
but fully hydrated and stuff, he'd probably be 158, 159, man.
Oh no, he would be those things. But I'm trying to find what an effective weight where he could still be effective. I think he'd be effective as a welterweight or 140, definitely 140 pounder, definitely. But he want to be down there 135 with them low ass men. Hey, bro, that shit.
For Loma to win this fight, he's gonna have to take some gambles. He's not gonna be able to use his footwork and pick my guy up. He's gonna have to risk. He's gonna have to take some chances.
No, it is gonna be the feet beats. If he stands any chance of winning this fight, it's because of his feet, not even his hands. It's his feet. The angle at which he's gonna come in. That's how he's gonna win the fight. So his feet will win him this one. His feet.
Nakatani's feet are so flat.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and get Nakatani to extend and then counter and stuff and use his legs. Obviously so, but he's old, man. He's old. Listen, you've got to do more conventional brawling when you get to a certain. Just like Ali had to. And like when Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight Terry Norris, it just came to, I have to try and brawl you to get anything out of it. You know what I mean?
That is true. That after a while, you can't be subtle with everybody. Like, the Lopez fight, it's like, I can't talk about that fight with but with so many people because I'm not trying to make excuses for Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm not doing that. When I say, I don't know if the reason he didn't throw for 5 rounds was because of the shoulder. What if it was? That changes the view of the fight. They're like, well, if the guy went out there and we know he had a nagging shoulder injury, that wasn't the first that we heard it at. So you got a guy that normally by round 3, he's starting to let him go. It's round 3, he don't throw nothing. It's round 4, he don't throw nothing. Round 5, he don't throw nothing, right?
But to be fair, Beats did mention the Campbell fight, and that's where you start to see Loma be a lot more economical. Maybe we could say it's the shoulder. It was the shoulder there for the first 5 rounds in that fight because Loma didn't throw but 30 punches in the first 5 rounds against Luke Campbell. He was just winning by 1 or 2 punches in a couple of rounds, and that's why Luke actually did all right on the scorecards, is because he managed to pick up some early rounds like Dio did.
Yeah. But Luke, the other thing is, with Luke, everybody thought that Luke was going to go in there and go out like Anthony Crolla. I'm like, nah, bro, y'all looking at this shit all wrong, bro. Like,
Crolla was way gone.
yeah. I'm just saying, like Luke could box, man. Like, I know he's an almost guy. I know that he's come up short in his biggest moments, and that happens, and that's kind of the guy that he is. But he's a good boxer. He can I think that Luke uses his lead hand better than Masayoshi does because he'll just keep going like that. He'll keep putting it out there, He ain't just shooting it. He'll keep putting it out there and moving, keep putting it out there. With Masayoshi, he just going to throw it. And when he throw it, Loma going to get around it and come in.
The one thing Masayoshi does have, and it's in abundance, and nobody can take it away, is the dude has heart. He has mad amounts of heart. To get dropped in the fashion he did twice, to come back and stop a dude.
A fucking murderer.
A murder. Allegedly. We don't know 100%. He hasn't been convicted.
I'm not going to talk about the story that's on the ground. The story that's on the ground, woo, it's spicy.
The story on the ground is exceptional. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I believe it. I believe it because, it's not because I don't fucking care about the kid. Put him under the jail. I don't give a shit.
Oh,
yeah. Put him under the jail. I don't you know what I mean? I'm not coming up to bat for him. I'm saying I don't see a killer. I don't. You can look at somebody and kind of get a read on and the story on the ground, it makes sense. Like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And you're still a murderer, by the way. Even if you didn't do it directly, you are still a murderer. Her blood is on your hands, so
Absolutely.
you're still a murderer
Absolutely.
in my book. But
The thing is, right? If Loma hits this guy with his best shots, and he's still in there in the sixth,
mm,
and wanting more, that's where the wear and tear picks up, man. Because now you have to grit down. Like McGuigan said, after 7 rounds, it's no longer really about this boxing thing. It's a fight. It's literally a fight, just a fight. You know what I mean? And
I see. Look, if Nakatani tries to pressure Loma, right, he's still trying to hit an exceptionally small target that moves around a lot. Like, let's say Masayoshi tries to impose his size on Loma. I thought about it. I'm like, well, he's gonna throw those big straight shots and those wide hooks. Loma's gonna get under those because he's so fucking little. He's got a low center of gravity. He's mad little. So how hard is it for Loma to get under a counter hook? How hard is it for Loma to get past that jab, slip it or get under it? How hard is it for him to do that? I don't think it's going to be that hard. It's just a question psychologically. And In the Ring with Christine said this on another podcast, and I did think about it. It did strike a chord. Loma got humbled, bro. His
bro,
eyes don't look the same. His demeanor is not the same.
let me break down Loma's lightweight record before Rigondeaux, career super bantamweight. Let's write that out. The Linares fight, he was getting outboxed and got floored. The Braga fight, he was kept out for long periods. Anthony Crolla, okay, knocked out Crolla. Right. Luke Campbell kept him out for long periods. Teofimo Lopez beat him. Like, I'm expecting to beat Nakatani, but if Nakatani has anything left in ambition, it's a war. It's a war all the way.
I know that I was watching him. I was watching the weigh in and all the stuff before that. I'm looking at him and his demeanor, his body language. I know I don't like it. It doesn't it's not looking super confident. The body language I'm seeing. Loma don't really have broad shoulders, so I mean the shoulders are always a good tell for how somebody feeling that day. And he got like little old Navy shoulders, right? But even his shoulders look a little bit sunken and like he looks humbled. His eyes, you don't see confidence. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's more of a factor to me than implementation and boxing. Because if it comes down to boxing, he can win the fight, but does he want to win the fight? How does he feel psychologically? This would be a big confidence boost for him, right? This would be a big boost for him if he win. You got to get there, though, bro. You got to get there.
He said it out of his own mouth. This wouldn't have been the chosen opponent just because of the size
That's fair.
he brings.
I wouldn't be choosing him. I wouldn't be choosing Nakatani if I was managing Loma. You're coming off of a defeat. You're coming off of a surgery. Yeah, let's throw you in with the 6-foot Jap who gave Teofimo a harder fight than you did.
They could have threw him in there with Emmanuel to go. They could have threw him in there with Ivan Mendy. They could have conjured up Marinez, who just got knocked out by Comey. They could have conjured up Comey. They chose this guy.
That would have been dangerous as well, Conway.
Oh yeah.
That fucker hits like a fucking mutant.
Yes, he throws fastballs. That guy, he only throw that right hand one way, and if it lands, you going out, bro.
And the thing is, it'd be favored to beat Comey, just like I believe it beat Nakatani. That's not the point. So all the people in the comment section saying, "Oh, you guys are saying this Loma's going to win," we all believe Loma's going to win. We're talking about an aging fighter who is deteriorating, and there's no way around that. You can look at the lightweight performances against the top lightweights in sport. You can look at how do you think a Teofimo Lopez rematch would go? Okay, Loma would have a chance of winning, but it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a war.
The thing is, we're not saying nothing new. If you go back, and it would be a trial, but if you go back and listen to what we've said in previous lives, right? I believe he had the surgeries. Why do I believe that? 400 amateur fights. That's why. I'm like, I don't feel sorry for him. I'm not making excuses. I'm saying if a dude has that much amateur experience, yo, you gonna have bundles of wear and tear. You bundles.
Do you know why I believe he had the surgery, man?
Go ahead.
Do you remember him in the hospital bed with the shower cap on and the 14 black stitches in his fucking shoulder?
Yeah, like they showed you the incision sites.
Literally, you can see that. You don't fucking fake that shit.
Yeah,
Just like it's the same thing with Kell Brook. That's why I believe he got stabbed in the leg because I seen the incisions.
yeah, I don't bring up the surgery as an excuse to lose. Like there are no excuses. You signed the contract, so you accept responsibility of what happens after that. What I'm saying is, I believe that the guy's shoulder's fucked up because this is in keeping with what we've been forecasting for a while now. That this dude ain't gonna be competing at this level, but for so long, he ain't all this extra shit they talking like. Nah, he ain't gonna be Pacquiao. Pacquiao's longevity, who fucking knows what is really behind it? But the Ali, the Pacquiao comparison, like I always thought this dude is not gonna be around that long. No way. Not with an amateur record like that. Got almost 400 fights. Crazy?
Listen, when you're an aging fighter and you're fighting out of your weight class, could you imagine how it is just to prepare for them camps?
Shit.
It's a battle, bro. Like, bro, like if you're gonna talk in boxing years, he's a middle-aged man. It's a battle.
I agree with Napoli. 130 pounds has fights right now, and I think if Lopez doesn't want to give you that rematch, right? And I don't really think that he does. I think Top Rank wants it, but I don't know that Lopez wants it. I don't know. He should go back down to 30. Go fight Jamel Herring. Go fight Oscar Valdez. Go fight well, fucking Javante Davis has the WBO. The WBA, so you ain't gonna get your hands on that. But there's fights. He could go back down to 30. Loma versus Valdez does good business. That does good. There's money in that.
I love that fight. There's a lot of fights from at 130, and even still at 135. But you can see from the moment he stepped up to 135, it was really just a bit much because people leave out that Lomachenko is a fucking paperweight in the amateurs.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at his build, dog. Look at the size of his wrists. Look at his shoulders.
He's
look
small.
at his head. He's
small.
little. He's a very little fucking man. He's like a hobbit. God bless his skills, though. I mean, I'm not trying to like play him. I'm just saying that dude is wild little, bro. You got fucking decent size guy. You got a guy 5'11" at 135, bro. All right? The fuck? It's big kids up there.
To be doing what he's doing at this age here in Fowler, it's a phenomenon. But the wear and tear is evident, man. Look, if he looks spectacular tonight, then I'll give him a lot of credit. That's all I can say.
Hard opponent, very strong, very physically strong. It's a hard fight. Like
when it comes to Rigo, I'm glad you brought Rigo up. That's why I picked. That's a part of the reason I picked Loma to beat Rigo, because Rigo is a very, 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 very Rigo is smaller than Loma.
Yes.
By a lot.
By a lot. Like if this dude was in front of you, you would think somebody put a spell on you or something. Like the dude is little, bro. Like super little. Like
what height is Rigo? 5'3"?
He's like I don't even think he's really 5'3". I think he's really like 5'2", 5'1". The man is tiny, dog.
Because even though he beat Nenito, Nenito's a legit 5'6", 5'7", right?
Yeah.
The height difference was kind of like Nakatani and Loma.
Look, I saw Jelena Marjanovic and her gorgeous fucking ass. She was over there with Jesse Vargas and Nonito Donaire. I forgot what fight they was watching because they was all in the same camp.
Yeah.
Yo, she, like you could see Nonito's height next to Jelena because Jelena's tall for her weight. So you could see they're like, yeah, this dude is legit 5'6". Maybe he's playing with 5'7". He's decent size for where he campaigns for bantamweight and all them little weights. Rigo looked like a little boy fighting him, like a little kid that stole a remote control. And he just trying to chase. That's what that looked like. Like you dude is mad little, bro.
Yeah.
And when you that little, it's not this like I don't know why people say size doesn't matter. Size matters. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Size matters.
Definitely.
If you fighting a dude, right, and it's not even exclusive to boxing, fighting a dude with a 30, 40 pound weight advantage, that's very difficult, dog. That's very difficult. Like you hit him, feel like you punching a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
All right. So you see a little ass dude like Rigo who hits like a train, right? Yes, he hits like a train, but this is a very you got to land, bro. You got to. It don't matter if you can't land,
Well,
and
look,
you mad little.
look at Deontay Wilder's knockout streak and knockout percentage. He knocked down Tyson Fury and nearly got him out. But what did Tyson Fury do? He got back up. He got back up because, like, listen, this is a gigantic heavyweight. He's a naturally big dude.
He's fucking massive, bro.
Talking about coming in at 300 pounds or something like that for the third fight. I'm like, bro, like, I can't look, man. I'm telling you right now, go out, fight some. If you don't be fighting, look, just go out, fight somebody that has a 30, 40 pound weight advantage. You'll feel the difference.
Did that already. Did that. And
you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll feel it. You'll feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel it, bro. You feel it.
Even if a punch hits you on the arm, you feel that shit. Like
It's the weight itself moves you. It just moves. It's just heaviness. Like weight. The oldest law of physics is weight moves weight.
Usyk and Chaz Witherspoon. What I noticed immediately, Usyk is blocking the shots, but when he blocked the shots, he's getting moved off his feet.
Well, I can give you a prime example, right? Derek and Usyk, right? I think it was round 3. Usyk held a high guard and Chisora punched him right on the glove, and Usyk went about 4 feet to the fucking side, like just flew. That was just like if that landed on his head, it probably would have knocked it off. But that's just weight. Weight is very, very, very important.
I don't I think that it's a before I address let me address the super chat that I got. I do like Teofimo Lopez versus Mikey Garcia, but that fight is not gonna happen. So it's like I would love to break that fight because it's a great fight, and I think Mikey is a very he's fun to watch and he's skillful. He's just he's very shrewd. Let's put it that way. He's very shrewd businessman. and that fight is not gonna happen, bro. Julius and company, who do you like between I like Regis right now. If the fight is next, understand, so that there's no confusion. If the fight is next, I like Regis because he's fought 2 times in the last 12 months. Mikey has not fought since the Vargas fight of last year in February.
So the last card before lockdown.
Regis will clean Mikey up.
Clean him up.
I really rate Regis' program, and I think I think he's probably maybe outside of, I would say possibly Loma, the best fighter in the world without a belt right now.
That's
great.
That's a hot take. Vargas. He scraped past Jesse Vargas.
He did though, and he couldn't finish him. Finish him.
Well, Vargas
he hurt him, and he couldn't finish him.
Fucking big though, isn't he?
No, he's big. He's big. It's like I don't even want to knock Jesse Vargas because Jesse Vargas is actually a solid fighter. Like he's gonna go in there, he's gonna try, and it's gonna be interesting. So
we were talking about size, right? Just a second ago. Mikey, a super featherweight, a lightweight, a 130, a 140 pound, had one fight with Errol at 147. Lost 11, 12 rounds, pretty much, whichever one you want to give him. Then fights Vargas, drops him.
Yeah.
Drops him. I mean, and Vargas has fought at 154. Vargas isn't small. He's a huge welter.
He is
he's probably the biggest welter. Him and Ugas are probably the 2 biggest welterweights right now.
I agree with that because that dude is like 5'11".
Well, no, Ennis is the biggest actually, isn't he? Jerome. But I don't.
The biggest and the most capable. Biggest and the most capable. Let's put it because it's like Vargas when he fought Mikey. What I was thinking was, yo, are you making 147 all right? You know what I mean? Like that, because that's what I was like. If you're not making it all right, that's going to add more to his punch. If you not making it all right, you was just at 154. You came down to 47 for this fight. Are you making that all right? Because if you ain't, well, then you're going to look like that. It's going to be that much easier to hurt you. So
It'll be interesting with that fight where it takes place, if it's at 140 or 147. If it's at 147, weirdly enough, this is actually kind of how I say it. I favor Regis. If it's at 140, I favor Mikey because Regis says he can't really make the weight anymore. He's really struggling with it. So if Regis isn't at 100%.
Regis is sending mixed signals because he said he's not moving up to 47.
Breaking. Eddie Hearn says Canelo wants Beterbiev.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
I'm saving that. I like that shit. Shit.
If Canelo goes and beats Plant, becomes undisputed, and moves up and gets a fight with Beterbiev,
the greatest Mexican fighter of all time.
Even if he loses, just attempting to do that is ATG shit.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest Mexican fighter of it's Canelo Alvarez, Finico Lopez, Chavez. Greatest Mexican fighters of all time.
If you attempt to beat a light heavyweight like Beterbiev, like if you give him a great fight and come close, that adds to his resume. If you really do.
I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna go a step further. I think he can beat him.
Yeah, so do I.
You know, fellas, I heard this and I've seen people already running with the narrative. Now, remember when Canelo fought Kovalev? The boxing fans who detract from Canelo, instantaneously, they all said this. Oh, but he didn't go after Bivol or Beterbiev, the real ones, because Kovalev is past it now or whatever. The second Beterbiev, he said that. They're like, oh yeah, but why isn't he going after Bivol? He's younger, more in his prime. Straight away trying to detract from it. I know. At the end of the day, we can all admit one thing. Arthur Beterbiev, what has he got in abundance? Aggression and fucking raw power. He hits like a mutant, right? That he is such a hard hitter at 175. It's not even fucking funny.
And power's the last thing to go.
Power is the last thing to go. He isn't as quick, but he's an educated boxer as well, pressure fighter. That is hard work for Canelo. If Canelo could beat him, we do have to sit down and have a talk about him and Chavez and Olivares and shit like that. We really do.
I think he can get him because if you've been following Ginger's career, he excels. Well, with the exception of the Golovkin fight, the first Golovkin fight. But Canelo likes aggressive opponents. There's that many more countering opportunities. Beterbiev, super strong guy, great gas tank, hits like a goddamn mule. But I don't think he takes the best punch.
I'll tell you one thing though: if he fights Beterbiev the first fight of next year, I guarantee you one thing: he won't be having 3-4 fights in that year because he's going to take damage. His face is going to get marked up.
Yeah.
You don't fight that dude and not get hit.
You can talk about the Kovalev fight, and look, I didn't like the rehydration thing, and they're saying, yeah, why didn't he fight Bivol? Why didn't he fight Beterbiev? But if you go back historically, like when you're going up to fight a bigger man, I'm not saying you can excuse it, but you can understand why people are a little more selective. Like Sugar Ray Robinson could have fought Archie Moore, but he tried to stiff Archie on the purse and tried to, shortchange Archie. Archie was a harder fight than Joey Maxim, who Sugar Ray did fight for the light heavyweight title. That was a harder fight than that.
Lost on heat exhaustion.
Yeah, lost on heat exhaustion. Ray didn't fight Lennox Lewis. He fought John Ruiz.
No, and this is why I'm cool. This is why I'm cool with it, because I'm like, look. This is my whole thing. They talk about Canelo Kovalev. Oh, that ain't shit. Oh, Kovalev is okay. Then why don't you do it? That's my answer to everything. Oh, it's so easy to beat Kovalev, right? It's so fucking easy, right? It's easy. So why don't you do it?
Jay, I've got a 75 pound. I've got a 75-pound weight advantage on the man. I've got 5 inches on him, pretty much. I ain't fighting that fucker.
That's my thing. They was like, oh, and it's like my interpretation. It was like, oh, well, Kovalev is not throwing with bad intentions, and I've often said this, that my interpretation of the pity pat was he's not committing to his shots because he doesn't want to get counted, so he's going to just use his lead hand and pity pat him, move around, pity pat him, because if he extends that arm and Canelo's not there and he moves here, pop, and it's a wrap.
Here's the thing, though. what people are not considering is this is Beterbiev's hardest fight.
Yep.
That's Beterbiev's hardest fight. I don't care who's been. He hasn't really that like apart from Bugsy and Johnson. Who's he really fought?
Not really fought anybody, but I will say one thing, right? I do think at prime, Vosdick would be an extremely hard fight for Canelo with his type of movement and shit.
Yeah,
He's a fantastic fighter. He's a fantastic fighter.
Yeah, and he might come back because I follow him on Instagram, and this dude been posting boxing shit. He's been posting himself doing drills and shit. Like, Vosdick might come back. I don't think he comes back the same guy, though, ultimately. Doesn't come back the same guy.
I don't think he was the same guy after the Stevenson fight, because when I watched him fight, what was his name? Ngubu or whatever?
Yeah, in Doodoo. His name was Ndudu.
Yeah, in Doodoo. He was in deep Doodoo. And I think Vosdick went through something, and I even seen it in the Beterbiev fight. People can correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all have seen fighters come off of almost killing a dude or killing a dude, and they don't follow through on their shots anymore to the same extent. You could see that with Vosdick in that Doodoo fight.
Yeah, he didn't commit to the right hand, and he had a bankable right hand. That's the other thing, that he got a bankable
amazing
right hand.
It's so accurate. It's just whether it's on the line or off the line. If it's off the line, you just shift his feet, bam, catch you. Like, it's just beautiful. It's such a nice fighter. I actually love watching him fight.
It's a shame
Beterbiev to beat him, just because one, I felt I was reading into that and do shit, that whole fiasco and the Stevenson stuff. But the other reason why is I felt though in a war of attrition, Beterbiev would get the best of him just because he hits too freaking hard.
I'm gonna say, if he goes up there for Beterbiev, right? Don't fucking come up to me with the guy that just went the distance with Juan Montiel. Please don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that either. I don't
want to hear that shit. Like,
I don't want to hear any. Like, if he goes and fights Beterbiev, I don't care if it's Golovkin, if it's Andrade, if it's Benavidez, if it's Charlo. Nah, fuck that shit. If he's fighting Arthur, the unified lineal champion at light heavyweight, shut the fuck up.
He has a 100% knockout percentage, correct?
Yes.
That's more than Deontay Wilder. Right? All right, and I'm just saying, because that's his selling point. That's what they love to say. Artur has to get by Joe Smith. That's a fair point. First, before he thinks about Canelo, if Callum Johnson almost knocked him out, what's going to happen? That's the same question I asked myself, bro. To me, Smith is a slightly bigger hitter than John. I agree with you, bro. I agree, and I
can say one thing though. Right, and I need to say this. Johnson is much smarter than Joe Smith at getting into the pocket. Joe Smith's got no ability to get into the pocket.
But can we say, and we're not being I'm not being generous when I say, like, hey, don't talk that way about the guy. I'm dead ass. Like, yo, Joe Smith is live in that fight. He live. Like, he's live, bro.
He live.
Yeah,
he live. He live in that fight.
You know, the first time he was in there with a puncher, a lot of these guys that he's been fighting, like Alvarez and Chilemba and all, and Barrera, they're all boxers. The first time he went in there with somebody who's known to actually have some crack to him, he got rocked multiple times in that fight, got outboxed clinically against a dude who's deemed to be a worse version of Beterbiev and Vosdick.
You know what's going to hurt Beterbiev?
Inactivity and age.
Of course.
It's gonna hurt him.
Of course. It's like, yo, I think he's cursed, bro. He gets, because his main thing with Ivan Michel was that he wasn't fighting enough. So he wanted to get out of that. And he gets away from that. He ends up with a sparse schedule of activity anyway, right? Then he goes to Top Rank, and now you're riddled with injuries. So you're still inactive. It's like the dude is cursed to some shit. Like you done been with 3 different promoters. You went from PBC, Ivan Michel by way of PBC, to Matchroom for like 1 fight, which was the Johnson fight, to Top Rank, and you still only got like a couple of fights. But I don't even think Beterbiev is 20-0. He don't have 20 fights, right? Like 18.
16-0.
Shit.
He's 16-0.
And he's 35.
And he turned pro in 2013.
Wow, bro.
That's less than a 2 fight a year average. I'm not good at that, but that's less than a 2 fight a year average.
That is fucking.
It's not a lot, even though he had an extensive amateur pedigree. It isn't a lot, and we're seeing that a lot with these Eastern Euros who turn over late. We're seeing it a lot, just like Loma. We're seeing and age and the amount of foot, because let's not forget, Beterbiev himself as an amateur had 275, 280 fights, and this wasn't. Most people know him as a light heavyweight right now. He fought a heavyweight for the most percentage of his fights in the amateurs. That shit ain't a joke. That ain't a joke. He fought Alexander Usyk like 5 times a heavyweight.
Real shit, dog. Like Beterbiev's amateur record. He's another one, though. He's another one. Wear and tear. I don't think it's caught up to him as fast as it's caught up to Loma because, as we specified, this guy is sparsely active. Sparsely active. But at the same time, he's injury prone. They broke your ribs and what was the first thing? I forgot. Was it that he got COVID or the first thing was something? He had like an injury, then he got a rib injury. It's like, yo, dog, like you supposed to be
COVID, rib injury, ankle torn, and then COVID again. He had COVID, rib injury, ankle torn. Opponent had COVID, shoulder injury. Then the fight got made.
That dude is cursed, bro. Like it's always something. And looking at Joe, it's like everybody. He looked like shit with whatchamacallit. He did look like shit. I forgot the fucking guy's name, man.
Maxim Vlasov.
Vlasov looked great, by the way. I want to see more of him because I wondered is the year what happened?
They're not going to give him another opportunity, man. You're going to have to go and watch over on the Russian cards.
I like that fucking. He's a big awkward, good engine having motherfucker. Because I wondered, look, this guy used to be a cruiserweight. That's one, so he's going to cut a lot of weight to get here.
Gave Prime Glavatsky a war.
Yeah, I mean,
he arguably beat Joe. You know.
I mean, if we being real, you know the promotion.
If we're being real, one of let's be real.
Promotion wasn't behind Vlasov. We all know that.
Let's be real here for 1 second. Did any of us on this panel score that fight to Joe Smith Jr.?
I scored it for Vlasov. and I wanted Joe to win.
I'm gonna tell you what you hate to hear, Mark. I know you hate to hear it.
I know exactly what the man's gonna say. He's gonna say, well, I scored the rounds the same way. I knew the judges were going to swing them in the fight.
Because that's what I'm doing. That's what they're doing. Like, look, it was a fucking fight. It was a Golden Boy Promotions fight. 2 girls fought, right?
Why didn't you do that with Danny Jacobs and Gabe Rosado then?
Oh, I did. No, I did. I said Rosado won that fight. I think Rosado won that fight.
Yeah, but you knew that Rosado wasn't going to be winning those rounds, bro.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. This is the thing. My thing is this. If there's a way I see that the judge can give it to the guy, I'm going to assume that they gave it to the guy. With Danny, the situation was this is his last fight under Matchroom. That was what the story was at the time, that his Matchroom contract is up after this fight, and we don't know. At that time, we didn't know if he would renew. I think that he did renew because Matchroom is still trying to make fights for this fucking guy. But I'm thinking, well, this is his last fight under the contract. He's not a Matchroom. He might not be a Matchroom fighter after this. And you're fighting Gabriel Rosado, bro. You know what I mean? So they might fuck you. They might say, fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like that maybe they'll give it to Gabe. You know, they sell the human interest story. With Vlasov, it's like I saw that like, yo, dog, if this is in Russia, this guy's winning this fight. But it's not in Russia, so Joe's winning this fight.
I feel you on that. My scorecard, man, Joe lost, man. Like, and for me, you have to do a lot in that fight. A lot to swing enough rounds for Joe to get 7. You need to do a lot.
Very good fight. I enjoyed the fight.
I'll say that it was
scrappy affair.
What it was a wake-up call, because I honestly think that Joe having that fight was the preparation he needs for Artur Beterbiev. This big guy, hit this guy, he don't go away, he don't stop laying on you. It's the best preparation for Beterbiev.
Well, Vlasov would do the same thing to Beterbiev what he did to Joe Smith.
He could. Vlasov is so awkward and ungainly and difficult to prepare for. Like, 1 second you're dealing with a dude who has his hands dropped and he's catching you from different angles on the turn. Next second he's got a guard, he's on top of your chest, but what he's doing is he's pushing his elbows into yours so that you can't gain leverage and shit like that. Like, he's so educated. Like, and that's part of the reason the cruiserweight division is so fucking good, is guys like him weren't really legit contenders. They were like perennial contenders.
Well,
but he's capable.
All the divisions like the cruiserweight division, the renaissance we're seeing at cruiserweight, the renaissance we're seeing at 140 that we have been seeing is because it's not political. Guys get to fight, so the top talent permeates to the top because that's the way it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to. It's not supposed to be all this bullshit. It's supposed to be y'all fight and the best man to win. That's how it's supposed to be.
When you said one of the WBSS, K2 were involved. Is the Russian guy Popov, Sowlands, Eddie? Well, I don't think Eddie had a guy in there, but no one cared. Like, there was all these different promotional outfits in there, and they just got we got an undisputed champion. That's proper boxing right there.
Gassiev, Dorticus.
It's fucked all the way down to 118 now, bro.
Gassiev, Dorticus, Usyk, and Breedis all have different promoters.
Right, exactly.
But it's fucked now because the top talent permeated to the top of the bantamweight division, so all the big time promoters in the West stepped in, and now it's fucked.
Now it's fucked. As soon as the big time promoters in the West step in, we're fucked.
It's fucked. It's the truth. That they don't have a men's division in the next World Boxing Super Series. Let's talk about this bantamweight thing real quick. Julius, did you see Rachel Donner's latest tweet? I see she's been coming at Casemiro. Well, really, I don't
she
like
said
Casemiro,
she said
man.
he has until he had 24 hours, about 8 hours ago, pretty much until tomorrow night to enroll in VADA. If he doesn't enroll in VADA, the fight's off.
Oh fuck yes. Look. I don't fucking like that dude. I've never liked that. He beat my guy. Really, I didn't like him because he beat Zolani. That's just because I don't get to say Zolani Tete anymore. I didn't like him for that shit. But after that, it's like, yo, you such an asshole, bro. Like, you just a clout chasing asshole.
But Julius, here's the thing, right? I think you should want to see the fight.
Because
I've watched a lot of Daenerys' career. I've watched a lot of Casemiro's, right? I've never been so sure in a bad style matchup for Casemiro.
And they find anyway next.
Well, this is the thing. This is my thing. And Mark knows what it is. If Casemiro wins, we don't get Inoue versus Casemiro. If Nonito wins, there's still a very good chance because Nonito's a real dude, dog. Like, that's a real dude. That ain't he just not no hoe. He not no bitch. And he don't got to do all that extra shit. He is who he is. If he beats Casemiro, we get the undisputed. I believe we do. Casemiro, he going to sit over there and suck dick and talk shit, and he won't fight Inoue. That's what'll happen. So I'm like, yo, you know what? For worrying about this rat-faced motherfucker, get my man Nonito out of that bullshit and let him get that money with Inoue in Japan. Because Bob already said it. Inoue's next fight is going to be in Japan, which I always feel like Inoue does not need the Americans. Why are you wasting his time over here? Yeah, he don't need us. Yeah. That dude got wild fans over there. He don't need to come over here putting up with shit from shitty-ass YouTube channels that don't know shit about boxing. Leave him over there where they don't know him.
International fighters like Inoue, Josh Taylor, take your bull back home. You know what I mean? It's time to take your bull back home.
You think that Josh Taylor is disrespected by fucking Leonard? Like, no. Yo, dog, that same fight, oh my God, like, I can't, that's why the video hit home for me, because I'm like, see, you cocksucking coward bastards. Yep. You don't want to get on a plane to go to the UK. You forced them to come over here. Well, they don't got no fan. Well, motherfucker, you don't want to go where they fans is at.
Exactly. How is he supposed to build a fan base when he's lived all his life in Japan? How is he going to have a big fan? Oh, there ain't nothing over here. Well, obviously, because he just got over it.
And you fucking know that same fucking fight
in Glasgow, somewhere over there in Scotland, they'll fill an arena with that same fucking fight. An arena. And guess what? They won't be like, nothing against Jose Ramirez because he's a good dude, but they won't be Ramirez fans. But y'all force cats to come over here because you're too scared to go somewhere else. And, well, he don't got a lot of fans over here. No, he got fans. Your scary ass just don't want to get on the plane. Gervonta Davis so fucking good. Then let him get on a plane. You good enough to get on a plane for Liam Walsh, right? You did that. Remember that? After the Pedraza fight. Go get on a plane and go fight Josh Taylor in Scotland because you're so fucking good. Bullshit. It's pure bullshit.
Would Josh Taylor sell out the O2 beats if he fought Tank?
Yeah, of course. Easy work. Yeah.
I believe so.
Listen, just with Scots alone. Listen, the Scots, they'll have to watch how they allocate them tickets. Because the Scottish people are going mad if you don't send at least 15,000 over there. They'll be going crazy. Yes. It'll be sold out in a day.
It's all this whole shit. It's so like, yo, look, right? And motherfuckers, it's not going against the grain, calling whole shit. Like, that's some whole shit. Like, you don't want to get on a plane. You force all these guys to fight here, like the Leo Santa Cruz shit. That was whole shit, bro. He fought you 2 times on your home soil. Well, not your home soil, right? Because it wasn't in Mexico, but it was your neck of the woods more than it was his. You didn't want to go to Belfast once. Whole shit.
Forget Tank Davis. If Lewis Ritson didn't lose the other day, he could have, right? Him and Josh Taylor could have sold out the O2. Easy. Or any arena in Newcastle. Easy.
Look. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall in Scotland is good business. It's good business. It's good business. The shit is the Americans, and Leonard already said it. He already said it to Michelle Joy Phelps in the interview that she conducted. He's literally relying on the ignorance and stupidity of the boxing fans because he's like, well, the average boxing fan here, they don't know nothing about them type. Oh, so that makes it okay for you to take shortcuts then. That's what you're saying. You're not selling real boxing. You selling shortcuts and gimmicks and smoke and mirrors. He said they don't even know Barrios. The same dude that said you got to bring something to the table is the same dude that 3 days later said, well, they don't even know Barrios. So then what the fuck is he bringing to the table?
Exactly.
I can't what bothers me as an American is that ain't us. That's not us, bro. That's not us as a people. That ain't the streets. No, that ain't the streets. You're a coward. That's all it is. You're a coward. And people want you and your little hopped up peacock to be the face of boxing. No, I won't let it. You a coward. You can't represent this country. You a coward.
Yep.
Terrence Crawford, that's a real one. He'll represent this country. Not you, coward motherfucker. You cowards. You move like cowards.
Yep. Listen, if they said, look, we're going after Josh Taylor next, I wouldn't even care if they built this up as a world title. But they're not saying that. They're saying, oh, we're not going to fight Josh Taylor because he's a poor ticket seller.
And my God, like, see, oh my God, I'm about to have a heart attack. I gotta save it for the video because I'm like, see, this, and that shit, Bob. He keep talking about the culture for our culture. What culture, bro? The culture of cowards?
Exactly.
The culture. What's your culture, bro? The culture of whole shit? Of getting a taper when you fucking 60? You trying to look like Liberace? You're a coward.
140, all 4 belts, undisputed champion. And there you are, trying to undermine him to people who know the sport. I mean, like, what is that? I mean, listen, anyone who paid to purchase that pay-per-view today, you're full of crap. You are full of crap.
Honestly, like, I'm not buying it and I'm not watching it. Like, I'm literally like, bro, Loma might get knocked out today. I got to see his fight. On top of that, it's a good fight on the undercard. Brent versus, God, what's this guy's name, man? The Kazakh guy.
Janabek Alamaknuli.
That dude can hit, and that's going to be a fight because Brent not afraid to let his hands go. He throw punches and punches. That's a good-ass fight. I don't got time for, like, God, I don't like Leonard. Like, yo, I don't like Leonard. Like, you a coward, bro. Like, you promote coward shit. You move like a coward. You talk like a coward.
Yep.
That's what you are. I'm not like, you can't be the face of boxing in this country. No.
No.
No. Terrence Crawford. That's boxing. All right, Terrence. And I don't care about, because y'all moving like a bunch of cowards.
Exactly.
Of course he not going. Danny Garcia was number one. You fucking cowards. When he was number one, was y'all asking Danny to fight Crawford the way y'all asking Sean to fight Crawford? No, why? Because you're cowards. You know Danny he'll get smoked. You know it.
Yeah.
But you live off the coward shit.
Yep. Trying to undermine Josh Taylor. That was horrible, man. That was horrible. Oh, they only put 1,000 in. Yeah, because of the coronavirus flipping restrictions, you idiot. You know what I mean?
It's that like
let's be real. Hold on, let's be real here. Let's talk about reality. Taylor's not a ticket seller, but Ramirez actually is. He's a bigger ticket seller than Tank. He's done 18,000 in Fresno 5 times.
Exactly.
And they don't. I brought that up in the past, and they'll dismiss it. Like, look, man. I know that Tank is not smart. I could look at him and see that. I could listen to him and see that. He don't make decisions. The guilty party here is Leonard Ellerbe. You're like, you like, we heard what happened to you when Jay Prince and them came up in that gym. We heard.
Yeah.
We know what you are. You've been living off Floyd, and you like that's all you've been doing. Living off Floyd. That's it. That's why we know you, because of Floyd. Aside from that, you a cracker-jack ass promoter.
Yeah.
Cracker-jack ass promoter, lying to people and moving like a chicken shit, and giving boxing in this country you giving it a bad name. I don't care who you fool with Tank, because you don't fool me. You don't want to fight nobody because you don't believe in him. There's no other reason you move a fighter like that unless you don't believe in him. What you scared that he would have fought Tevin and Tevin might have made him look bad? I think he would have beat Tevin. Personally, I think he would have smoked him. But you don't believe in Tank enough to let him.
They didn't believe it, though. That's the problem. Is they didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it. It's $7 million that you don't have to put up. That's what they offering. $7 million to your fighter that does not come out of your budget. You get to take a cut out of it. Nah, you don't. You a coward. You move like a coward.
In all this undermining Josh Taylor, where's Bob Arum?
Right? To defend his product.
Yeah.
To defend his fighter.
He's nowhere. He's nowhere. You know what I mean?
I can't like, that's why I don't like talking about Leonard, because then I'm gonna take it away from the boxing to your life ideology. Yo, dog, it's not that that's business, it's that you move like a coward. Because you're a coward. And it's in your eyes, it's in your aura. You a coward. You don't do shit like that when you believe in. Yo, let Tank fight. He's a good fighter. Let him fight.
Exactly.
He's a good fighter. He's good enough that you invested all that. So let him fight. He could have beat. The worst shit about Tank is he could have beat Alberto Machado. Yeah. If Cancio can ragdoll this man and fold his ass up, Tank would have beat him, but we'll never know because you didn't let him fight him. Tank could have beat Jezreel Corrales. Tank could have beat motherfucking Kevin. He could have beat them guys. Like, it ain't all about the Loma fight. I said that 1,000 times. I can forgive you not fighting Loma if you fight these other people. You didn't fight nobody. Nobody. Because
even with like the Pacquiao Spence fight, like to try and build that up, they have to teep Ugas' belt. Why don't they just promote Ugas properly to fight Spence?
Because they know there's no money in Cuban boxers. That's why. That's why. That's why. Look, Al Heyman already fucked Rigo once. He fucked him twice now. He fucked him out of the Leo Santa Cruz fight 6-7 years ago. He just fucked him out of the Casemiro fight. The man is like 100 years old.
What happened with the Casemiro fight?
He was supposed to fight Casemiro. They swapped him out and gave it to Nonito Donaire.
Fuck it up.
That's what I'm like, yo, why is Al Heyman, and I hate to take it here, why is Al Heyman supposed to be the civil rights leader, whatever? Well, don't you see who he's fucking over?
He's screwed Rigondeaux out over his whole career with Carl Frampton, with Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Maris. He screwed him over, and despite what the announcer says, he screwed him over with Abner Maris as well.
I'm like, yo, like, I don't understand why we playing this game where this is supposed to be this delegation and that delegation, when all I see Al Heyman doing, like, yo, you fucking over the fighters you supposedly supposed to be helping. You fucked Rigo a long time ago. Here you are 7 years later fucking him over again. That man, that was his best chance at winning the title. Because I'm like, yo, dog, like, this dude is finished. He's finished, right? But if you put him in there with Casemiro, he's got a puncher's chance. Because if he lands, if he can land, he still has power. And you fucked him out of that for Nonito Donaire. And I like the fight. Don't get me wrong. I like the fight. It's still a good fight. But that don't change that, yo. I don't want to hear about Bob fucking over Rigo. No, Bob didn't fuck over Rigo. You fucked over Rigo. Bob just cut him loose. That's all he did. Cut him loose.
Yep.
I can't sell this guy. I'm cutting him loose. Fuck it.
Yep.
I can't sell him. That didn't stop him from getting fights. You literally stopped him from getting fights. But he supposed to be the patron, like, to me, he another Al Sharpton. Talk that shit, bro. We all know you a CI. It's on paper. You a government CI. Talk that bullshit to whoever believes you. You a CI. Anybody can see that.
Nah, Taylor was never with Matchroom. He was never with Matchroom. He was never. He fought on Sky, and Eddie promoted the Regis fight, but he was never with Matchroom.
I mean, look,
he was on a card co-promoted by Matchroom. The reason why was the co-main event, Chisora versus Price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm boardroom. I'm gonna say this. Look, Bob talk a lot of shit. Understand me? He talk shit. That's what he do. But as far as actually stopping a guy from getting fights, Bob didn't do that. The biggest fight that Rigo had in recent memory came by way of Bob. You want Lomachenko? You got him. You got him. But you got to be real, because he sell when you don't. He sell more than you. Feel me? He sell more than you. So you got to be real. All right? You don't sell to bend over for other people. So you want the fight is there. But it should have never came to that. It should have never been about Rigo and Loma. It should have been about Rigo and Carl Frampton. It should have been about Rigo and Scott Quigg. It should have been about Rigo and Leo. It should have been about that. And it's a goddamn shame, because they wouldn't have beat him. They would not have beat him. His resume would have looked ridiculous if he would have got to have them fights. Why didn't he get to have them fights? Al motherfucking Heyman.
Listen, it's the risk, man. Like, people holding belts hostage, man. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying yesterday. When Eddie had options on Ndongo with the two belts, he should have held the belts hostage.
Why not?
Bob, if you want these belts, you got to pay my man 10. Pay him 10. You know what I mean? And then, listen, Crawford would have shit. He wouldn't have the undisputed, you know what I mean, thing behind it.
Everybody's a fucking peacock. Like, I'm not with the entitlement shit. Like, no, it's no. For decades, foreign fighters have had to come to America and shovel shit here for opportunities. But the second you tell an American, yo, go over there for the fight, that dude sell over there more than you sell over here. You don't want to do it.
That's right.
I'm not with that. Like, so if you so fucking nice, right, balls to bone, strip it down to what it is. If you believe in yourself and your people believe in you, what's your problem going over there?
And even the American female boxers do the same shit.
I just did a video, right? Heather Hardy said they offer her $20,000 to go to the UK. There's only one promoter in the whole of the UK that's promoting women's. So we know who you're talking about, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, look, it's not my body, it's not my health, but real is real. Who over here is offering you $20,000? Who? Don't start that shit. Nobody over here is offering you that. Nobody. I don't think you made $20,000 in your last fight. No, not, and you lost. You fought 2 times in the last 3 years, and you lost all of them fights. So you could turn your nose up when the Brits want to offer you some money for it is an opportunity for you. Is anybody else offering you more money? Nah, right? So it is an opportunity for you. But
this is what I'm saying. Like the foreign people, like stars, like Inoue, Josh Taylor, maybe it's time to take the ball back home. let's take the bull back home, bro, because you know what I mean. They ain't really playing bull out there.
Josh Taylor don't fucking need an American audience. Inouye does not need the American. Like, he don't. Them dudes don't need to be coming over here putting up with no shit.
Tim Tszyu, the same thing.
Ryota Murata, and that's why I'm glad that when he fought Stephen Butler and after the Rob Brandt fight, that he took the second Rob Brandt fight to Japan, and after that he had another fight in Japan. It's like, yo, dog, if you selling over there, how you gonna fuck that up coming over here? Fuck these guys, man. They all lying to themselves. You don't need to come over here to put up with shit. Who's Ryota Murata? Don't worry about who he is. Just know he worth more money than these motherfuckers.
Don't forget, like Vladimir pissed off back to Germany, didn't he? He pissed off to Germany and fucking was selling out, making $20 million a fight for fucking nearly a decade.
Bro, he has the best ring walk entrance I've ever seen. That video is still up on YouTube. It's a little cheesy and it's a little German, but I still like it. It's very German though.
Vlad's doing football stadiums.
So that Americans over here,
in Dusseldorf and Hamburg, he was selling out stadiums.
So that the Americans could go sit in the corner and cry, heavyweight division is dead. No, it ain't fucking dead. It ain't dead. You just can't find a familiar enough cock to suck. That's what's going on.
You know, Julius, that's true, because let's be real. All these divisions are shit when they don't have Americans in them. The cruiserweight division is trash, apparently. Fucking light heavyweight is terrible. Fucking middleweight. Middleweight apparently has the best talents on the planet.
No. Before, bantamweight, super bantamweight, fought weights. We don't watch that shit. Let Stephen Fulton come along. He'll beat everybody. He'll beat Inouye. He's the oh my God. Like, I'm like, yo.
Look what Andrew DeBeatty dipped his toe into the European cruiserweight field.
Look what happened. Look what happened.
He got knocked out by a Cuban.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what's worse is, look, it's not that America doesn't have fighters. No, we got fighters, and you don't support them. Jamel Charlo is one belt away from becoming this era's undisputed junior middleweight champion. And what do you bitches do? He said, Wilder, like, yo, I don't know who the fuck raised you to have such a gigantic vagina as your aura. Like, you are just a gigantic vagina. Mm-hmm. Like, what is wrong with you? The dude is about to be undisputed.
Like, you see people like Ricky Hatton, right? He didn't need to fight Mayweather. He could have just, because listen, Ricky used to sell out everywhere he fought. He could have just said, nah, fuck Mayweather and Pacquiao. If they want to fight, maybe if they come over here, I'll fight them. He could have just kept defending that WBU belt, and by now, listen, his fans didn't care less. It was WBU. They were filling out the arenas,
bruh. That's why I fuck with Ricky low key. Honor, bro. It's honor. Now, I ain't Peter O'Toole in Troy. Where is your honor? But I'm like, yo, dog, where is it though? You don't got no guts?
Yep.
You don't got no guts. Like, I ain't think be gutless, bro. But don't expect my money to watch you be gutless, because that ain't gonna happen. And America's history in this sport is too rich for you gutless pricks to be a symbol. Like, no, you guys are gutless. We got fighters. We got Terrence motherfucking Crawford. We got Jared Anderson in the heavyweight division. I think he's very promising. Tristan Kalkaroof lost his last fight, but he'll recover. He'll be back. There's good fighters out here. Real good fighters. And they ain't your guys, man. It ain't Spence. The fuck is your claim to fame? That's ridiculous. Because he beat Kell Brook and shit. Oh, he's the greatest welterweight I've ever seen. Clearly.
To be fair, though, I give him a lot more respect for fighting Kell Brook at Bramall Lane than I do fighting a lot of other American fighters. That's one thing I respect him for. Traveling over there to get the belt.
Be honest, Mark. We saw what happened to Brook, right, in the Golovkin fight. So you see that shit happen, like, oh, I gotta go to Sheffield to fight him. They got fucked up. That's all that. That was, bro. That's that one. Like, I gotta go to. I'll go to Sheffield to fuck him up.
I understand, but there's a lot of fighters who wouldn't have done that.
I dig it. You're right. You're right. But, because you travel, okay, then why Julius Indongo got to be a piece of shit? If traveling, because see, this is what bothers me. Julius Indongo did some shit that if an American did it, this motherfucker's a hero. He went to Russia, smoked the unbeaten champion in one round with one right hand.
Right.
You don't
care. And then he outboxed and dominated Ricky Burns.
In Ricky Burns' house. That don't matter. Don't matter.
Here's the thing, right? If his promoter was really like playing them American politics, he wouldn't have put. Listen, I bet you he didn't clear $1 million for that Crawford fight to give up his 2 belts to Crawford.
He did, and that's what like, yo, dog. You got a Namibian champion, right? How often does Namibia get to have a world champion, let alone a unified one, let alone one that's on a tear, going to people's house and fucking their ass up in their house, right? Don't want to give him his flowers. No, he got to be a piece of shit because of your fucking agenda. They talk about the Prograis fight. Understand? Yeah, he got stopped by Prograis. He was a last-minute opponent change, though. See what I mean?
And here's the thing. What do you think is going to happen to fighters like Josh Taylor? Right? He's going to say, okay, so this is what it's about. My undisputed belt doesn't mean nothing. All it is risk reward and seats and pay-per-view. Well, let me do some shit like that. You know what I mean? Let me go, fight a Mexican or something.
Let Anthony Joshua play the games, bro. I don't need Tyson Fury. The fuck do I need with Tyson Fury? I don't need him. Wilder. These dudes that have a heart attack. They have a heart attack. Yep. If he said, yo, Wilder, that dude don't sell. You had to fight Tyson Fury to sell. I could fight an unknown Bulgarian and sell, you cocksucker. I don't need you. And if he do that, I swear to God, I'm with it. Like, yeah, go ahead, Josh, man. Talk your shit. Fuck y'all. I don't need y'all. What the fuck do I need with y'all?
Exactly.
If he did that, he ducking the under.
Yeah, you don't want the tank smoke and shit like that. Come on, man. It's ridiculous.
It's like that's why I'm glad that he's saying what he's saying, because I'm like, yo, you. I blame Josh for this. You let these guys think they could talk to you crazy, and you know what they are underneath, but you ain't saying that. You say it, bro. Wilder's not elite. How could a one-handed fighter be elite? You just now trying to learn how to box? Mm-hmm. Are you crazy?
You just learning how to skip?
So was it the cheating? Was it the disloyalty in the corner, the cheating, or is it that Chaz can't box? Because you definitely doing something different. Yeah. Fury, you fucking con artist, you fucking charlatan. Yep. Wow, man, you let it get to the point where these two phonies, they think they could talk wild to you.
Hell yeah.
I'd told motherfucking Wild in 28. Hey, listen, ho. If you want to have this fight, it's my terms or no fight. And you can suck dick in America. I don't need you. You understand that? You came to my fight. You came to my Klitschko fight, right? You was there. Why you ain't walking the ring then? Because you want me so fucking bad. The fuck out of here.
That's right.
Well, fuck it. You gonna let this chicken leg motherfucker fuck shit to you?
The problem is, though, right? It's not going to work for British fighters to take that, or the Japanese to start, okay, we're going to start act like Spence. We're going to start act like Tank and Ellerbe. It ain't going to work for us. I don't think that they can pull that off.
Because
it takes a lot of theatrics.
No, you know what it is? It'll work if it's coming from a real place, because what's promoted in America is bells, whistles, and phony shit. The reason that the British boxing scene is the way that it is, and why even a Commonwealth title fight could get attention, British title fight could get attention, is because there's still honor involved, bro. There's still a standard. There's still like you just like how you was hard on Anthony Yard. That's how it is. Like, bro, we're not just gonna like you because you knocking off these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers ain't shit.
Exactly.
Daniel Dubois, yeah, he look all right, but them motherfuckers ain't shit. I was high on him. I'm still high on him. I still think he got a chance. But it was like, yo, you heard motherfuckers saying like, nah, yeah, hey, we gonna see what it really is.
Yeah.
Whereas here, oh, Tank could fight for a second. He could fight Cuellar that ain't fought in 2 years. Oh, he's number one lightweight in the world.
Who did he avoid the first weight? He avoided, but did he avoid Burchell and Machado?
Look, he avoided the division. When I say, I'm not exaggerating. Like, you fought Pedraza, cool. You didn't fight Burchell. You didn't fight Ito. You didn't fight Herring. You didn't fight Corrales. You didn't fight Machado. You didn't fight Cancio. You why is your promoter worrying about what Oscar Valdez is doing? After Valdez beats Burchell, here comes this cocksucker. Like, yo, dog, like, if your boy not gonna fight nobody, why you even care about Oscar Valdez? Why do you care? Your boy not gonna fight him. Coward. Mm-hmm. Fucking Valdez. I thought Valdez was gonna get killed, man. I thought he was gonna get killed. All right? I didn't give that boy no chance to win that fight. He do that brave shit, and here come you fucks. Here come you fucks. You been there the whole time with this cat. You didn't even sneeze in that man direction.
Yep.
Like, nah, that's why I don't like them dudes. Like, y'all a bunch of cowards, man. Go be cowards, man. You trying to get Vlad TV subscribers and World Star Hip Hop subscribers. That's your audience, man. That's your audience. Love and hip hop. That's your audience. Y'all cats is not boxing related. Like you boxing's ugly sister.
Yeah, hell yeah. Even Shakur, man, Shakur could have fought Josh Warrington.
And I can't make excuses for it. I can't. Gary Russell, I can't make excuses for that, bro. Like, the shit you saying, so you chose not to fight for $1 million so you could not make shit? Because you ain't fought. And I'm supposed to sit here, oh, poor Gary, he don't get the promotion. Like, no, bro. Like, you don't want to do shit. You don't want to do shit. And I don't feel sorry for you. Motherfucker offered me $1 million. Josh Warrington could punch me in my face. Now. Send that off. Send a contract, Eddie.
Yeah, man. It's getting a bit crazy across there right now, man. It's getting a bit crazy.
Oh, it's the same outfit. It is.
Charlo telling Andrade to fight Montiel. Because you struggled against Montiel, you feel that Andrade has to fight Montiel.
Because Wilder struggled with Ortiz. Everybody has to fight Ortiz. Everybody. Yeah. That's why Dillian is going to be my guy long after he retires. I heard that Dillian is looking at Jermaine Franklin, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yes, do that. Why? Who the fuck did Luis Ortiz fight in his last fight? Who? Yeah. Luis gets to fight Areola. But Dillian, I got a fight killer at the kill. Oh, no, Robert Helenius wasn't shit. Robert Helenius smoked Adam Kovnowski, though. When Dillian fought him, he ain't shit. He goes over to your neck of the woods, he smokes one of your top guys.
But I have to ask you this, though, like, since you're across the front. Will that fly as a main event? Dillian versus Jermaine Franklin?
No numbers. Nobody knows Jermaine Franklin.
Exactly.
Nobody.
No, it's a main event, bro. It's a main event. Do you want to know why? Because Jermaine Franklin, who's been saying that he's going to be the best heavyweight from the U.S., is going to get absolutely slept by Dilla.
But I'm with it. Why? AJ ran the gauntlet on his honorable shit. You want to run through the gauntlet because you couldn't get these motherfuckers to satisfy that many mandatory. You couldn't. You can't. You want to run through the gauntlet. All right, Dillian. If he fight that, I'm like, yo, I'm with that. Why? Fuck y'all. Luis Ortiz. Who the fuck has this man fought?
See, what you realize, like, Dillian has got an interim position to protect.
Right? Yeah. Ruiz, yo, bro, you got knocked down by Chris Areola in your last fight. That's real shit, real spit, real shit for your ass, right? And I'm supposed to come over here. Oh, I got to fight the killers to prove myself to y'all. Man, fuck y'all. Give me Jermaine Franklin. Get him on the phone.
Yep.
Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna come over here I gotta come over here and play. Man, suck my dick. I'm gonna fight Jermaine Franklin, knock his ass out. I'm probably gonna have another lighter touch after that. Cause why? Cause fuck you. That's why. Fuck, I look like working extra hard. You got this old motherfucker getting these haircuts, fighting these dead bodies. Shit is wild, bro. All these cats fighting dead bodies. You need 2 fights to beat Robert Helenius, and I'm supposed to come over here and suck y'all? Nah. No. I beat that dude the first time.
Yeah, you beat his name his first time, and yeah.
And
one of their biggest.
you American, well, because you America, you dudes need 2 fights to beat dude I beat once, man. Fuck that shit. I want Trevor Bryan, Jermaine Franklin, back to back.
Yep.
Right? Because I'm not playing y'all game. Wilder don't want to give me a title shot. He don't want to. I got to protect this interim belt, bro. I ain't just gonna be out here giving opportunities. I did that. I learned my lesson. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna play how y'all play. I'm gonna sit, wait.
That's right.
Fuck that shit.
Hold your shit. Hold your interim position hostage. Like Caleb Plant is doing that IBF strap, bro. Hold it hostage. Don't just give it away.
Motherfucking Jermall. You're crazy. You're nuts.
Yeah.
Juan Monty. Tom Brown is trying to convince me for my money. This is a better fuck. All right, yo, suck a dick, man. Just suck a. All right, Tom Brown. Fuck you and fuck Showtime. How about that? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
His eye all knotted up. He won though. I guess he won, but yo,
that's in the words of Alexis Ribeiro. That's the least you can do for the hype that you got around you. That's the least you can do. The least you can do is win. You're supposed to win.
Yep.
Right? You want this? What annoys me? You got guys, Liam Williams, right? I'm not saying Liam Williams is the greatest thing in the world. I'm saying that you got guys that earn a seat, they earn a spot, and they earn a shot, and they get shitted on. They get shitted on. Now your boy struggles with Montiel. Oh, we supposed to look at Montiel? No. It's not that he's that good. It's that this guy's not what you say he is.
He's not. That's right.
If Montiel was that good, why did he get knocked out in 2 rounds by Monkey at 147?
Good point.
What? If he's that fucking good, if he's that good, durable, right? If he's that durable, let's talk about the reality. Charlo don't know how to lead. He don't know how to lead. He know how to counter, but he don't know how to lead. Agreed. And that's why he couldn't get him out of it. And he can't lead a fighter.
He runs out of ideas when he attacks.
Yo, dog, I said that the dude look, and I'm like, look, I still want to see him fight Andre. I stand by my original position. I don't think he's a bad fighter, but he's not what they say he is. Nah, he's a basic 1-2 fighter. Basic fighter. Basic. Good fighter. Good solid fighter. Yeah, I could think of some fights that I want to see him in, and some fights he could win. He's not a bad fighter, but he is not what these motherfuckers. Like, Canelo gonna worry about this dude. Canelo gonna worry about this dude. Canelo looking at beasts like better be. He gonna worry about this dude because he beat who? Sergey? Y'all crazy.
Yep.
Oh my God, he beat Sergey Franchenko.
What I want to know is who is he gonna fight next? Because to me, there can't be no more handpicked opponents, man, like that.
Listen, Montiel showed you. What they taught me with Montiel is they have no shame. So they'll find someone else. They'll find another dude, man. They'll find somebody. Maybe they'll put him in there with Luis Arias. He just beat Jared Hearn.
No.
I'm just telling you, like, look, Mario Barrios, right? He fought on Gervonta Davis's undercard the last time out, right? So the way they move it's not hard to see how they move and what they be doing. I'm like, oh, so maybe the winner of Jared Hearn versus Luis Arias was supposed to get Charlo because they all tied up down there at 154. Like Jared Hearn was talking about he gonna go back there. I didn't believe that shit because
you're way off, man. That opponent is too good of a choice. It's too good of a choice. I'll tell you who he's gonna fight next. A man who goes by the name of Oscar Cortez.
Oscar Cortez, all right.
He fought against Camille Cesar-Meta and got knocked out in 2 rounds. That is the ideal Charlo opponent.
He's not even ranked.
They don't look when you.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Bro, look. When you put on Ruiz versus Arreola as a pay-per-view, and you could do that with a straight face and ask people to pay for that as a pay-per-view, you can do anything, dog. Like you can it's like Fight Club. You once when you hit bottom, it's nothing to lose after that.
Wow.
Let's be real. We can say he's not even ranked, right? I pay attention to the WBC rankings all of the time, right? Montiel wasn't inside the WBC's top 50 in his entire career at middleweight. Suddenly ranked number 14 the day after the Charlo fight gets announced. All of a sudden.
Listen. Keith Thurman is ranked by, I believe it's the WBA, in the top 5. This man hasn't fought in 2 years, and when he did fight, he's coming off a loss. He's top 5 WBA?
Leo Santa Cruz is a featherweight super champion and hasn't fought at featherweight. Wait, no, is a feather or a super feather?
It's featherweight. No,
yeah, it's feather. When's the last fight he had at feather?
Bro,
2018? Was it 2018?
It was 2018. Bro, it's been 2 years, bro.
It's been nearly 3 fucking years, and he's still a champion in a weight division. Come on, man.
That's the sanctioning buddies who are the real problem.
It's the chicanery, man. It's the chicanery. That's all it is. It's the chicanery. I'm like, it's fights out there that Leo could have had, and maybe he would have won. Like, look, and I always come back to this fight because I think it would have been a major fight. Leo Santa Cruz, Oscar Valdez, featherweight for the WBA and WBO titles. That would have been major. Major. Probably get 2 fights out of that motherfucker, right? Nah. Why? Because of politics. Because he's with Top Rank and he's with PBC. And y'all happy with that shit? You fucking vaginas, y'all happy with that shit?
It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Shit is crazy. Like so. I'm curious, right? The politics is why Spence and Crawford haven't fought, and Spence's nut hugging fans, they cool with that. So then why is those same fans egging Stephen Fulton on to call out Inouye? According to y'all, that shouldn't even happen. It shouldn't be happening, right? Inouye's with Top Rank. With Top Rank, right? So
but Julius, this is only a part and parcel of the consistencies and inconsistencies of these fans. Because let's break a couple of things down. Wilder, before the Fury fight, arbitration, etc., when they were saying he could come back, he had 2 opponents that were mentioned, Charles Martin and Trevor Bryan. Charles Martin, that's a great comeback opponent, quality guy, world championship level fighter. When Joshua fought him, he ain't nothing but a bum. He terrible, right? Trevor Bryan. Oh yeah, Trevor Bryan, that's a quality opponent. Because why? Because he outpointed clinically against Bermain Stavern.
Yep.
Bermain Stavern is back, fellas. A dude who took Wilder the distance. Ignoring Wilder's knockout over him a couple of years later, the inactivity, etc. Dillian Whyte gets mentioned to fight against Trevor Bryan. He's shit, bro. He can't even get a real promoter. He's with Don King from 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. This is the inconsistencies.
What goes on? Look. Tim Bradley, Danny Garcia, low key trying to have Tim Bradley's resume. I mean, a lot of those PBC fighters are. Tim Bradley beat a lot of those guys when they weren't beat. Well, at least 2 or 3 of them when they weren't beat. These is facts. That man's resume is a work of art. He only ever lost to Manny. Yo, that's it. He only ever lost to Manny. All right.
If there's a fighter pretty much in the last 20 years that's okay to lose to, that's one of them. Yep. That is one of them. It's okay to lose to Prime Manny Pacquiao. It's okay.
It's okay. I invite anybody because people forget. Go back and look at Tim's resume, please. Just go look at it. People forget. Go look at it. And he only ever lost to Manny. All right? And I'm supposed to fall out of this chair because Spence beat Sean? Oh,
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fall out of your chair. Spence beat Sean. But you know what, man? But you know what? Tim only beat Marquez. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter.
Right?
Doesn't matter.
After Marquez slapped Manny.
After he slapped Manny. Beats Marquez. Marquez, my favorite of all of those guys from that era. Beats him.
But that don't mean nothing because Tim is going against the. I'm like, yo, dog.
The thing is, what they forget. When they were saying Golovkin was getting ducked, who called him out? Tim. I said, are you crazy, Tim? Tim called out, if you ain't gonna fight him, I'll fight him.
fucking Tim Bradley. God damn it.
That's a bit of a madness, though, isn't it? That's a bit of a madness.
But it was.
What it tells you is the mentality of a man.
Oh, yeah. Well, one mentality we all know about Bradley, when he's in that ring, he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck.
He fought Crawford a long time ago. Long time.
And the worst, the shit
He might
about
have beat Crawford.
Tim gave back when shit was what it was, when Tim was still active. He didn't shit on Floyd. He gave him his flowers. He didn't do the petty, the shit that we're seeing now, right? Them guys on that side. Like Spence tried to say that the only reason that Crawford was successful, this was about 2.5 years ago. Oh, it's because they smoking mirrors over there. Go before that. When Tim was talking about Floyd, even though Top Rank wasn't doing business with them people, all that shit, he didn't say Floyd's a hype job or nothing like it. He said, no, he's one of the best. One of the best. Because that's classy shit. That's how you do that. It's classy. He's a good fighter. Well, I don't got shit on him. I don't got to do that. These dudes act like, I don't even want to insult females because there's females out here that don't do that pussy shit. That's just pussy shit. I like a bunch of pussies. I want to go ride my horses, and I don't know what Crawford is doing here.
Yeah, but it's overkill. Tim fighting Manny 3 times is overkill. Let's face it.
Like, and things like that, and I'm gonna go things like that, and I want to fight Manny Pacquiao. Like, man, you got this 42-year-old man's dick all in your fucking mouth, bro. You've been sucking.
Yeah. And the fans are so enamored that they managed to get Pacquiao. Like, so what? You got a 42-year-old Pacquiao? Were you gonna celebrate like Spence is the greatest American welterweight ever?
Right? Like
here's gonna be my thing, Beats. Are they gonna celebrate like he's the greatest of all time when that 42-year-old probably deserves to get the win and gets scuppered on the cards?
That's another thing. He might get robbed if he don't knock Manny out. If he don't, and Manny makes it competitive, Manny can still get robbed. Manny know all about getting robbed. He know all about that shit.
It's happened many times.
He know all about that shit.
He better bring a Jeff Horn type fight.
That's why I want Manny to take all the steroids that he could take.
But there ain't no body testing it so far.
Look, man, just give Manny the sauce, and let's end this shit.
Give everyone his nipple juice, yeah.
Word, man. Let's just do this shit, man. Anyway, I'm gonna close it up for now. See y'all later on the next live when we go live for Masayoshi Nakatani versus Vasyl Lomachenko. Beats, always a pleasure. Mark, always a pleasure.
Peace.